Zachary and Kojak show. Zachary with a shot fake. He gets it up with good. Fuller, he takes care of it. Zachary to the outside. Zachary. Kojak show. Zachary buries the outside jumper. Kojak rebounds the pin. Puts it back in. Give him a second chance, and he'll usually get it. Long rebound. Tip by line. Let's Kojak right there to get it. Zachary and Kojak show. Taken away by Zachary. 5. One of the things Norm said on the TV tonight in the pregame interview was that he'd never seen Kojak get a shot blocked. Here's Kojak Fuller, number 33. Kojak from three-point range. They go. Fuller got it again. Another three. The wigwam shootout continues. Zachary, Fuller up and what a delight to watch these two work. Zachary with 30, picking up three-pointers in that second half. It was the Kojak story most of the night offensively. 36 of Anderson's 69 points.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Kojak and Zach show. We're
right.
here with my man, Randy Zachary, the assassin.
Yeah.
And we're here doing our what, Zach?
Hey, man, this is our finale for the season, Kojak.
Yes,
2023, 2024 boys basketball final recap. We did the girls recap last week, and the boys started their sectional tournament season this past weekend, and it's time to do their recap.
Yes, sir.
And we had a couple winners we're going to get to. That's one of them out of Madison County, which we're proud of. So
Yes,
we're going to talk about
absolutely.
them. And then, we covered another game earlier in the season, and Fisher's Tigers. We'll talk about them later on in the podcast. But
Sure
they
enough.
won their sectional too. So congratulations to both
Congrats.
of those teams.
Yes, congrats.
Coach Anderson, Liberty Christian Lions,
Fine job,
three-peat.
man.
We're going to talk about it.
Oh, yeah. Three-peat.
Yeah. All right, man.
That's
That's
sweet.
awesome. Are you ready?
I'm ready, man.
All right. First, we're going to start with Alexandria High School, boys Alexandria team this year. We're going to go in alphabetical here, and keep in mind, I want to throw this out there right out the bat, that these stats are from Max Preps, and just to let you guys know, a lot of these teams, they might put the totals in for the team for the year and stuff like that, but, some teams get busy. They don't add their stats into the – so when we have stats, we'll talk about them, and if we don't have stats, we'll, bring up some of the kids that need covered. But,
Absolutely.
We'll do the best we
Absolutely.
can. Yep. All right. They had, let's see, Alexandria Tigers, coached by Coach Carroll. We had a nice interview with him. We covered him
Yes,
a couple
we did.
times this year. And, of course, we want to thank Mickey Hosier, the athletic director for Alexandria Monroe High School, for letting us come up there. Thank you, Mickey, again.
Appreciate you, Mick.
Yeah, they
Man,
do a
we
great
love
job.
Mick.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
Yeah. Alexandria had a pretty decent year this year. They ended up with 13-11 overall, Kojak. 5-3 in their conference, and they got two seniors. They're young. They're really young. They got a lot of guys coming back. They're going to be really good in the future. A couple seniors they got. Mr. Cuneo.
Man.
Yeah, he was tough this year.
Man, stud.
Yeah, big fella.
You would not think that a young man that size had the athleticism, the agility that that he displayed on the court, man.
right.
I mean, I was blown away. I know he's a football player, but the way his footwork was on the basketball court, man, it was unbelievable.
Kojak, not only is he a football player, he's a basketball player too.
Absolutely.
Because he averaged double figures, 11 points per game this year. 8.2 rebounds a game this year.
Yes.
That's very close to a double-double. Not only that, Kojak, he averaged 2.7 assists, so he can pass the ball in traffic when he needs to or get it back out to the shooting guards. And he also averaged 2.3 steals a game this year.
Well, I mean, I can see that, Zach. I can see Mr. Cuneo not getting rattled, man.
That's
He looked like on his like summer times, pastime, leisure time. He fight bears.
Yeah, he does.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, listen, I'm used to dealing with bears, and fighting them, and so
He's a big
this
boy.
little guy on my arm, I'm not gonna get rattled, man. I mean, that's just how he was, man. How he played, with so much composure,
Yep.
man. Yeah,
They're going to miss him next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And those other guys are going to have to step up. He's going to be a hard guy to replace.
You're right.
For as big as he is. I mean, they weren't that big anyway, like in
Right,
height
correct.
wise. So He's going to be a tough one to replace. And then Mr. McGuire, he's the only other senior, number 42. He averaged 8 points a game. Kojak, almost 3 rebounds a game, 2.3 assists, 1.5 steals. He had a great senior season also.
Hey, he did. The time that we were able to see him, Zach,
Yeah.
man, I tell you, I was impressed
Yeah.
with that young man, with everything that he brought to the game, man, to the team.
Yeah.
How he was their engine defensively.
Yeah.
When it came to hustle plays, 50-50 balls. Whenever he was in the game, it wasn't 50-50.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
like 80-20.
Because he's going after
Man,
it.
listen, and if I have to throw my body out there, I'll do that.
I love that too.
Yeah.
We talk about kids that sacrifice their body all the time to dive on the ground. And
Absolutely.
Get a loose ball for their team. I love that.
Absolutely.
Yep. They had some other guys too that contributed this year. Carson Hall, he's a ZBA boy.
Hey.
He ended up averaging 10.4 points.
I like
a game.
Mr. Hall.
Me too. 5.6 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1.7 steals. 6 foot, but he plays a lot bigger than he is. He can finish inside Kojak. He rebounds. He does it all for Elliott.
Yeah. Mr. Hall's
junior.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Hall's nice. He's a nice all-around basketball
Yes,
player.
he is.
You know what I'm saying? He can do it. Man, he can defend. He can score. Mr. Hall he's the type of individual to where you could build a team around.
He's athletic, too. Very athletic.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So he has some great, I'm excited about. I can't wait till we get to talk about these 3 underclassmen.
I know.
4,
Yeah,
really.
go
But
ahead.
man, I'm telling you, man, I'm excited about them.
Yeah, which one you want to talk about? All of them.
Man, we can start at the top,
right.
when it comes to Mr.
right.
Kettery.
Yeah.
Mr. Kettery.
That's right. Connor?
Yep, absolutely.
8.5 points a game, 1.7 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 1 steal this year. He's only a freshman, Kojak. Only a freshman. So Coach Carroll and his staff have got to be pretty excited about getting a lot of these young kids back in the gym. In the summertime, too, that's something that we didn't get to do when we played. They've changed the rules since then. Matter of fact, we couldn't even – in the summertime when we played AAU basketball, we could only have 2 kids
Only
on the
2.
same team.
That's right.
And you couldn't even have like a coach around or anything like that.
Not at all.
That's right. And nowadays, in the summertime, they get to play like a summer season almost for the month of June. And I mean, what a great –
I love it, man. Because what it does, man, it builds the relationships,
Yes.
that coaches want to establish with the players,
Yep.
and then, it gives them more of an opportunity to say, hey, listen, I know how you played last season. These are some of the things you need to work on. And they could go ahead and monitor that
That's right.
during the summer and seeing, hey, are you working on, you didn't work on this, you need to improve that.
That's
so,
right.
man, I just think that was a great addition.
I love it.
When they allow coaches to be involved, like in June.
I agree,
with
Coach.
the team.
Yeah, I like that, man. And to get to play against each other, you get a little. I know it's not like being out in a varsity game during the regular season or tournament time, but you're still getting a little bit of varsity time on the floor in the summertime, and you're learning what the coach expects from you that up and coming season. So
That's right, and you're able to see, kind of. Gauge,
Yep.
Who you're going against,
That's right.
what they have, they may not have all the pieces, but in June, you're going to get 80% of the pieces.
That's right.
That a team will have, and to see how you match up with that.
Yep.
Hey, I'm telling you, that's a great preparation.
Yes, it is.
Tool to have, going into the season.
We never had that, but I kind of like that they do that now. So
Yeah.
So man,
So
Mr.
Zach,
Kettery,
listen, man, I'm excited for
Yep.
Mr. Kettery. I'm
Yep.
excited for Mr. Eckler.
That's right.
I like Mr. Eckler.
Yep.
I just, man, this kid is athletic,
Yep.
man. And
another freshman.
yes,
Another
I
freshman.
couldn't believe it. I could not believe it, Zach.
Kojak, he averaged 6.3 points a game, 2.2 rebounds, 1.3 assists. I mean, those are some pretty good stats for a freshman.
And I'm shocked. That's all, though.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
shocked because when you look at him, nice shot. I mean, man, listen, man, I can see that kid, just watching him. Man, 15 a game.
Yeah.
I'm just saying for me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could see him averaging 15 a game as a freshman.
Yeah.
I could see that,
And then Mason Fuller, He had a couple good games.
Yeah, man,
there
my
that we
little
watched.
cousin.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Hey, listen, my little cousin, he bounced back, Zach. You know, because man, the last time we seen him, I'm like, man, listen, I was gonna hit him up, be like, man, listen, you didn't represent
That name, right?
that name,
That's
you
right.
know. But I like that. I like that, little cuz you came back and you represented. I love it, man. Yeah.
And he finished the season averaging 5.4 points a game.
Yeah.
Kojak,
Yeah.
2.1 assists, and he's only a sophomore.
Only a sophomore,
got time
man.
to come back.
These Tigers, I'm telling you, man,
Yep.
they gonna make some noise. And I'm gonna tell you that last freshman, never heard of him,
Yeah.
didn't know. But man, listen, I seen him put a move down.
Brizendine,
Oh my goodness.
another ZBA guy.
Ooh,
But hey,
I can't believe you didn't tell me about him,
He
Zach.
shocked me. He shocked me this year. He came out and did what he had to do. And you know what? I got to give Coach Carroll and his staff credit because
Yes.
I know they had some frustrating times this year. It's frustrating when you lose as many games. You know, when
Absolutely.
you go a little bit above 500. But he's got a bright future because those young kids, now they know what to expect for under Coach Carroll. They know what it's
Man.
going to take. You know what I mean? And as soon as they get just a little bit more experience, they're going to be dangerous. I'm telling you.
Zach,
Those freshmen coming in, man. And then you got Brady Gass, too, the
Yeah,
point guard.
man.
You know, the great football player as well. His dad's the football
Yep.
coach at Alexandria High School. But, you know, Brady came in. He's only a sophomore. You know, he got a
Man,
lot of
that
minutes
is
this year, too.
crazy,
Yeah,
Zach.
I know. So,
that they have all these underclassmen, freshmen and sophomores. I'm telling you, listen, Alec, man, you young fellas, man, listen.
That's right.
I hope you understand what you guys could have and what you have and what you could possibly have if you put the work in. Man, I'm talking about Zach. I mean, Alec will be in the conversation of Madison County champs.
yeah, they could.
And I'm so serious, man. Man.
They're going to be fun to watch. So thank you, Coach Carroll. Thank you to all the Carroll boys up there.
Absolutely.
They're doing a great job up there.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, thank you. Awesome.
Appreciate you guys.
All right. Next up, Anderson Indians.
It's them Indians. Man, them youngsters.
We had a lot of fun covering them and watching them this year, didn't we, Kojak?
Man.
One thing I will say is they're exciting to watch. They get
Yes.
up and down. They play hard defense the whole game. Those are the kind of games I like to watch. Those kind of games I like to participate in when I was a player. Those are the fun
Yeah,
games to watch.
yeah.
They're the fun games to get in, and you get scoring opportunities in up and down games like that.
That's what brings the excitement to the crowd.
Sure does.
When you playing defense and you get a steal, you know, hey, ain't no telling what you may see.
That's
you
right.
know, and Anderson has that type of team to where, man, you may see somebody do a cartwheel, alley-oop, boom, coming flood. Ain't no telling, man. I mean, these young kids are exciting at Anderson High School, and I want you guys to know that, man, I'm so proud of you guys. I mean, just through all the adversity, man, that they've had to deal with, you know, with coming back, you know, from losing seasons, you know, and Anderson not being used to some of the seasons that, you know, that we've experienced,
Correct.
you know,
Yes.
coming from the legacy
That's right.
of Anderson Indians, you know.
Yeah.
But Coach Bowling come in, man,
Awesome
and his
job.
staff, man. Big ups to y'all, Coach. How you hung in there. You brought the pieces along that you needed and matured and fine-tuned some of what you already had. And man, it's success.
And not only that, Kojak, they had a great record this year, 19-6 overall. And
Yes.
even a couple of those losses that we covered, Noblesville game. Noblesville was number 2 in the state. It's not like they were losing to some chumps. They were losing to some teams up there that deserved it. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
And they finished, like I said, 19-6 and 7-1 in the conference, and that had to give them at least a share of the title for the NCC, if not outright. I don't know the answer to that, but
Man, I'm telling you, man, that young squad, man, I loved
Yeah.
it. I loved it. You know, one thing that I would say about the Anderson Indians is that I don't think they really understood how good they could really be.
I agree.
I'm talking about if they all just was on one accord and listen to me, we gonna play for each other.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they lock in and say, we're going to play for each other and we're not going to allow what this person is saying, what that person is saying, we're not going to allow a lot of the riffraff to get in and try to break us apart. But if we learn if they play together and play for one another, I'm telling you, Zach, man.
Well, that's another one, Kojak. Another one of those teams that we saw this year when they play their Indians basketball. When they play Anderson Indians basketball, they're another team that could beat anybody in the state.
Completely different team.
Yeah. So I mean, they got 4 seniors though that they're losing.
Yes, they do.
You know, first we're going to talk about Mr. Jackson.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
What a good year he had. Was he injured at the beginning of the year?
I don't know.
Or was
I think
that Mr. Lewis? No, it was Mr. Jackson.
No, it was Mr. Jackson.
So he came in
Yep.
a little late because Proctor stepped in and did the
Yes,
job
he
he had to
did.
do, and we'll talk about him in a minute too. But Lewis Jackson, 4.2 points per game, 2.8 rebounds, one assist a game. They're going to miss him too. And what I love about Mr. Jackson, not only could he finish, Kojak, and he had some games where he was starting to finish really well down the
Yes, he
stretch,
did.
but his defensive intensity too, man, up and down, just like Mr. Lewis. But
Right.
fun
What
to
he
watch.
brought to the team. That's what they're going to miss the most.
I
You
agree.
know, what he brought to the team, man. He was like the fire and the gasoline.
Yes, he was.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, oh, wow. He will start. He's the gasoline, and then he starts the fire, man.
Yep.
And because when you look at the 4 points and the 2.8 rebounds, man, one assist, he brought way more than that
Yeah.
to the
Yes,
game.
he did.
You know, and he had a lot to do with their success.
Yes, he did.
You know, so yeah, they're going to definitely miss
Yep.
miss Mr. Jackson.
I'm going to miss watching him.
Yeah,
because he was fun to watch.
yeah,
man.
yeah. He was a little big fella.
Yes, he was.
So he represented. Listen, Mr. Jackson, man, you represented the little fellas well,
Yeah, he did.
sir,
I'm
and we
proud of him.
appreciate you for
I'm
that.
proud of
yeah,
him, man. He did
absolutely.
good.
I am too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then another senior for them, Jacob Rust. You know, he got in a couple at the end of the game. A couple times we watched
Yeah.
him play. You know, to listen. Even if you don't get time on the floor like you want
Come on,
to get,
Zach. Yeah.
I want to tell you something. A player like Jacob Rust coming into practice every day, doing what he has to do, that helps your team out so much. Just
Yes,
playing
it
against
does.
hard-nosed players like that gets the job done. That makes you so much better as a team that you don't even realize it.
Right.
So, Mr. Rust, good job. Thank you.
Great job, sir.
Yep. And then another one, Spencer Proctor.
Yeah.
I'm a Proctor fan too, man.
Man, yeah, me too.
He's another one whose stats doesn't or line that doesn't quite show exactly what he does on
Right.
the floor when he's in the game. He averaged 3.6 points a game, 1.3 rebounds. But I'm telling you, Kojak, he's a game changer when he's in the game. Takes charge, does what he has to
Absolutely.
do in the right spot defensively. I mean, and not that I got to say this, Mr. Rust and Mr. Proctor are both going to Purdue University
Yes,
and
sir.
becoming engineers, I believe. So congratulations to both those guys.
Yes, sir.
For getting it done in the classroom.
That's right.
Because it's not just about basketball. You got to take care of stuff in the
Student
Yep.
athlete.
That's right. That's right. So congratulations to both of them. So
Great job. You know what, man? And I tell you what, man, I just briefly chatted with Mr. Proctor, man.
Yeah.
And, man, fine young man,
Yep.
man. Fine young man. So when you look at these stats, man, it's like there's no way, because there was a time when I was like, man, who is this kid? Like, why is he even out there? Like, you know, I'm serious, man. And I'm just being honest. I'm like, man, why is this kid? Now I understand.
It didn't take long to understand, did
It
it?
didn't take long,
Yeah.
man, because he was doing all of the small things,
Yep.
you know, that was needed in
Mm-hmm.
order for us to get a W. You know, because everything starts small and grows
That's
into
right.
something bigger.
That's
You
right.
know, and listen, Mr. Proctor, man, I'm proud of you, man. And it was a joy covering you, young man.
It was.
And you know what? I can't wait to talk about your success, you know, in the classroom and just the mark that you make on society, man. So, yeah, absolutely. Great things happening your way, sir.
that's right. Right place, right time. I mean, he had a knack for where he had to be, did the right things, hustled all the time, dove on the floor.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
shout out to both of you.
absolutely. Now, you know what? They have one more senior, Zach.
Okay.
Nyrell Ingram.
Yep, Mr. Ingram.
Listen, his brother played last year, Jaquan Ingram.
Okay.
You know, great athlete, man. I mean, high flying, you
Yeah.
know, all over the place. And I think, don't quote me, and I think he went to a school in South Dakota.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, either South Dakota or North Dakota, something like that. School of Science,
Okay.
somewhere up there. But's playing basketball. Super proud of him. But Nyrell Ingram, man, listen, man, that kid there, man, he has to get best improved. Most improved. You know what I'm saying? He has to be, you know, the most improved. He improved so much from last year you know, being on JV and just started, you know, playing, but came in, man, and we seen him have a great game, man, and really contribute to the Anderson Indians, man. I really, if he is going to school, you know, from this point right here, Zach, I'm telling you, man, whoever gets him is getting a steal in that young man, because I can see them shaping his body, because he got a man's body.
He does.
You hear me? I mean, a man's man body. And so, you know, when he start getting them lumps on his body, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, that young kid, man, he put the work in, man, he's going to be a great player, man.
Good.
Seriously.
And then, hey, other than that, Kojak, they've got a bunch of returning players for next year. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 juniors, freshmen, sophomore. They got some talent coming up behind them.
They do.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Yep. I mean, we talked about him earlier. Colin Lewis, the other guard, standout guard for Anderson Indians, number 2, 5.8 points a game, 3 assists, 2.8 rebounds, almost 3 steals a game, 2.5 steals a game. He's another one that was all over the place, Kojak. And he had some big games offensively this year as well, when he needed them, when Anderson needed them.
Man, Mr. Lewis has no idea. Listen to me.
He's fun to watch.
Man, if Mr. Lewis, I'm telling you, if he gets serious about this game of basketball and he really puts in the work, man, I'm telling you, listen to me, man, he's going big time.
Yeah.
The reason why, because, man, this kid defensively, man, he is a coach's dream.
Yes, he is.
And, I mean, just being able to take care of the basketball, working on his shot and getting to that left hand and using it just as well as he uses his right. Man, listen, I'm telling you, man, you gonna write your own ticket, sir. But that's, I don't know if basketball is really what you want to do. But if it is, if you work on those things, sir, your jump shot, and you work on your left hand, being able to create like that too, man, listen. A big time coach is gonna be knocking on, and he's a sophomore.
Only a sophomore. That was what I was
come
gonna
on,
say.
Zach. Man, come on, man.
I love it. And then, hey, let's talk about Mr. Warfield. Junior for the Anderson Indians, 6'3" junior, number 3. What an outstanding season he had. And when we covered him, Kojak, he's like a highlight film too, man. Human highlight film. He's fun to watch. He's athletic, plays above the rim.
You know who he reminds me of?
Who's that?
He reminds me of a Stacey Augman.
Ooh.
Stretch man. Listen, man. I mean, Stacey Augman was long.
Yes, he was.
And man, he was just able to get to the basket, man, put the ball in the basket, man. And I'm telling you, Mr. Warfield, he works on his ball handling, and his jump shot, man. It's over.
It's 13.7 points a game.
It's
Kojak,
over.
5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. He had a great line this year.
Man, that young kid, man,
hit some big shots when they needed them. Had some nice flushes.
He's the difference maker. Do you hear me, man?
Yeah. You know what I like about his jump shot, though? He elevates.
Yes.
Like Christian Townsend. Those guys get up high on that. Listen, if you can elevate, I would work on that if I was you players out there. Especially if you're a little guy. You got to get every advantage that you can. So the higher you get on that jump shot,
you right, Zach.
the easier it's going to be to get. It's never easy to get it off. Don't.
Right.
I don't mean it like that, but the easier it is to get it off.
Absolutely.
So, you just got to work on that.
And you're right. That's something that you have to work on, is knowing how do I jump with my shot. You know, because it's a rhythm thing.
It is, but that starts in the gym. You got to get in the gym in the summertime and work on that. So
that's right. That's right.
Man, he was tough.
Man, I love watching that young man play.
Me too. And then, of course, junior number 35, Christian Townsend.
Yes.
Christian, you had a great season this year, 8.9 points a game, 1 steal a game. Man, what a shooter Christian is, especially when he gets it going, Kojak.
Man, you know, listen, man, I got to be, I'm going to be hard on that young man.
That's okay. You can
because of how good he can really be.
Yep.
You know, I just can't.
Another ZBA boy, by the way.
Yes, absolutely. Fine young man.
Yes, he is.
You know, listen to me. He's a fine young man. Comes from a great family.
Love his family.
That's right. And so, man, he has the tools, though, for a guard. Like you said, nobody elevates on their shot like he does.
Nobody.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody. I mean, man, he stands alone, man. He does that, and it's like picture perfect, too.
It is.
But we need more, though. We need more out of you. You know, it's almost like you be on cruise control and right at the speed limit. If the speed limit is 35, he hits the cruise control on 35.
Well, can I say something real
Yes.
quick? One reason I think Anderson is so good. They got guys are so talented. They're so good. It's easy to watch somebody else do the work. Like when you give it up to Damian King, which we'll talk about, you give it up to Warfield, you give it to any of those guys. They're dangerous. They can score on anybody at any time. So it's kind of easy to, I would think, kind of get out of the rhythm. But if you stay in that rhythm and when you attack, when it's your time to
Zach.
attack,
Yes,
and you're ready,
man.
be ready for that pass.
Yes.
Yes. He could be dangerous.
Man, listen.
Christian is dangerous.
Man, listen, you know what? And when he doesn't, you're right, Zach. He can be dangerous, but he can be dangerous to himself.
Yeah, I agree.
If he's not really tapping into his potential, man. Listen, Mr. Townsend, man, listen, man, you have some skills, man, that if you really work on, man, I'm telling you, man, he is going to get the attention of some college coaches, man,
Yes,
and they're going to be knocking down Coach Bowling's door.
And I'm excited to get him back in the gym this year as ZBA because we're going to get up a lot of shots, Christian, this year. A lot of makes this year.
Oh, wait.
So-
Once he do that, because he know how to slash.
I know. He's fun to watch, too.
You know one thing, I'm going to say this, and we can move on, Zach. His body, his posture, when he's going to the basket, is picture perfect. Because of how low he gets,
Yeah.
and then he explodes into... Mr. Towns, man, that's why I be wanting to slap him upside his head sometimes, Zach. You know what I'm saying? Because I be like, man, this kid, man, he has no idea, man, how good he could really be, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, Zach. But when he grabs a hold of it,
Yep.
you got one more year.
One more. And I think he'll take advantage of it his senior year, Coach.
I'm hoping so, too,
And
Zach.
he needs to start off the season right away shooting with confidence
Man,
because we saw
immediately.
him catch fire a couple games this year, Kojak, where he was shooting with confidence and they were going in.
Totally different team.
Every time he touched the ball and let it fly, I knew it was going in before he even released it. You know what I mean?
And they were a totally different
Yeah,
team.
they were.
Absolutely.
They were. And then real quick, I want to talk about Mr. Morgan and Jalen Jackson. They both contributed, both juniors. They'll be back next year.
Yeah, I'm proud of Mr.
Yep.
Jackson too, man.
too.
I'm proud of that young man, Aaron Morgan,
Yep.
and it's another one, man, that I'm excited about, man. Mr. Holt. Mr.
Yeah.
Holt is going to
Yep,
listen.
number
He's going to do
22.
some, man. I believe
Abram.
he's going to do some things, man,
Junior,
for the
6'4",
Indians.
6'4", Kojak.
Yes,
Yeah.
and has improved greatly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so man, they have a nice squad, and then you got,
We got to talk about the last one here.
man, you got that young man coming back.
The answer. Damian King, number 5. What a season he
Man.
had, Kojak. One of the best players in the state. Let's
Man.
just get
Yes,
that
sir.
out there. He averaged 23.3 points per game, 8.5 rebounds a game,
Man.
2.5 steals a game. I mean, two assists a game. He can give it up too. He's not just a scorer. He
Yeah.
he can give it up to the guy that's open. Yeah, he's a big time player for them.
Yeah, you know what, Zach? He just, man, whatever you needed.
Yeah.
You know, he did, you know. Yeah, I'm going to get my points. See, this is where everybody else needs to go ahead and learn how to get rolling. Because when you got a player like Mr. King, he's coming.
That's right.
Mr. King going to get his. He's going to show up. He's going to be ready. Everybody else, you already get ready. You already be in your momentum.
That's right.
Because he's coming.
He is.
And when you add him, oh, my God.
Listen,
Man.
those guys, they're unbeatable when they play together, and they're
Oh, yeah.
and they're on playing on all cylinders. They're unbeatable.
Oh, yeah.
They can be.
Now, Zach, I will say this before we wrap this up, man, with the Indians. Mr. King, I got to tell you, man, now I need for you to work this summer. Yeah, you good, sir. But I need for you to work on your game because, see, I need for you to be able to go left. I mean, to go right because he loves to go left, Zach. He remind me of you because you was right-handed, but you went left a lot.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He needs to be working on going right, being able to shoot going right, and being able to create, going right as well. And work on his ball handling and increasing his shot, the depth of his shot.
Yep.
Because we looking to do some big things on that next level,
Yeah,
Zach.
and he's got the body for it too,
Oh,
Kojak.
man.
He's got a
He
big
has
time body.
everything it takes
Yeah.
for him to get paid in the NBA.
That's why I like what you just said about working on his game, because if he takes it to the next level, working on his game, he could play at a big
or overseas.
time.
Yeah, you can get paid for playing. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice
So,
money.
Yeah,
But it depends on How much work if he gonna really? You cannot get comfortable, Mr. King, at everybody saying, "Oh, you good, you the man, you not." Listen to me, I'm telling you, and listen, we gonna tell you from experience that ain't enough. It ain't enough for people in the community to say, "Oh, he the man," or you scoring 25 or whatever points a game, 23. That ain't enough. You have to put the work in, sir. Seriously.
They're going to be fun to watch, Kojak. They got a lot of talent back.
I can't wait.
Like you said earlier, Coach Bowling's got them doing the right things over there, playing hard, and
I can't wait.
yeah. And they end up getting beaten sectional this year, but they didn't lose to a chump. I mean, Greenfield was undefeated, I think, most of the season. If they're still not, I don't even know what the record is now. But did they?
I had to be there to see that, Zach. I don't know, man. I mean, listen, man.
I didn't see it either. So
any team that beats the Indians, man, I mean, you have to see. It may be questionable. I don't know. I just have to see, man, because the Indians are that good to me.
Yeah.
You
have
a lot of times they beat themselves.
You have to play a good game to beat them, no matter where you are.
Right.
So, and if they're on, you better hope you're on too. Because
there you go. Now they will beat themselves, though.
That's true.
They will do that.
So good luck to the Anderson Indians, man. They've been fun to watch all year and cover. We did a lot of their games this year. Coach Bowling, thank you. Shin, thank you.
Thank you, Schindler. Thank you, Coach Bowling.
Sure appreciate everything they've done for us. Anderson Community School System. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Next up, Anderson Prep, the Jets, Kojak. I don't have a lot of stats on them. I've got some here, but they're coming around, aren't they? You mentioned something earlier in the season, how even with the girls' side maybe, how Anderson Preparatory, the name in the past, you didn't really think about it. But hey, the program that the Fat Hours have over there, they put together, their weight room, the facilities that they have, they've got the right outlook.
That's right.
They've got the right work ethic.
That's right.
They're coming around, aren't they?
Man, listen, you said it.
Yeah.
You said everything.
Yeah.
They have changed the culture of APA, man.
Yeah, they have.
APA athletics, man. I'm serious. And now they're at the point to where the county schools, they're going to start taking APA seriously.
Well, they should, because the girls already went to the sectional final. They had a barn burner, got beat by the Delville Lady Broncos, and then now the boys team, I think they're winning games. I think they're winning games now, Kojak, that they've never won before. The amount of games that they're winning. Their record this year, I know. Listen, it's not going to sound good, 4-19. But prior to that, I think they only won like 2 games in 2 seasons or something like that. So they're on the right track. They're heading in the right direction. Keep your head up, fellas, because...
And I'm shocked, Zach, that they only won 4 games, especially with the individuals that they have,
they got
man.
Some good players.
I mean, listen, they have some nice, nice pieces.
Yeah.
To really have a really good team, man. But I'm just super proud of APA, man.
Me too.
I mean, just the coaching staff, awesome. And then the players, man, how they just came out, man, and challenged. I love how they challenged Liberty Christian.
Yep. They play hard, don't they?
Man, listen, man. I'm expecting some big things, man, when it comes to APA, man.
Me too.
Yeah.
And they're getting more experience, Kojak, and they're playing.
That's right.
They're in these games now.
Yes.
Actually, one of the weaknesses I will say that I saw with APA this year is they didn't put 4 quarters together.
Right.
They would come out and have an outstanding quarter, hit threes, be up, almost score 20 points in a quarter. And in the next 2 quarters, they might get 4 points in 2 quarters.
You're
and
right.
you can't do that. You have got to be consistent throughout. Even if you're only getting 10 points a quarter or whatever, you've got to be consistent.
So we have to train and we have to practice to be that consistent to where if we putting 10 up, then we need to stay around that 10 or above. We can't go below that 10. So that means you have to train and practice for that type of, consistency.
And if he's right. And if one of those quarters do happen, you might have a quarter where you're not hitting and they have momentum or whatever. If that does happen, you can bounce right back the next quarter. You
Come
don't
on
have
now.
So that's why that's important.
right.
So
That's right.
yeah, let's talk about some of these seniors, Kojak. You're gonna have to help me with some of these names so I don't butcher them.
Man, listen, we may butcher some of them.
We'll start with Mr. Finley, senior Zayden Finley, 5.7 points a game. Kojak, 2.5 rebounds. They had a lot of contributors this year, didn't
Man,
they?
listen, man, Mr. Finley, I like that
Yeah.
kid, man. You talking about athletic. He just look athletic. When he walk, his walk is athletic.
It
You know what I'm
is.
saying?
Yeah, I do.
He's just so bouncy, man. I would love to see him have another year because it seemed as if, he just now started playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And getting the hang of it. And I'm telling you, man, if a coach seen him,
Yeah.
Zach, listen, he has the tools to where you can really turn this young man into a player.
I like it.
Yeah, seriously.
He contributed a lot this year. Good job, Mr. Finley.
Yeah.
Mr. Chapman, number 11, 5 points a game, 2 rebounds a game, 1 assist a game, another senior. Like I said, they have 5 seniors. They're going to miss them, but they got a lot of juniors, sophomores, and freshmen coming up behind them. So.
Yeah, they had those pieces, man. I like Mr. Chapman,
Me too.
man. They did, man. It was just the pieces that they came with, man, and I love it to where it was like they fit. It was like a puzzle. You know what I'm saying? That they
Yeah.
really fit. This is one thing that I would say when it came to them, like with the Mr. Chapman, Mr. Stevens.
Yep. Another senior there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. When you have individuals like that, man, you have to understand that you're important too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You are just as important as when we get to him linking Fathauer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You're just, or Cameron Anderson.
Yeah.
You're just as important. So now my contribution and my work ethic, it goes to a whole nother level because I know I have to contribute to the success of this team.
Not only are you just important, Kojak, you could be the game changer. Like, when Lincoln's on or whatever, averaging 13, we'll get into his stats here in a minute, 13.6 points per game. He was one of their go-to guys this year. But he's going to get that. Lincoln's going to get his one way or another. Those guys scorers are going to score for the most part. It's those guys that come in off the bench or those guys that aren't the scorers that get 2-3 points a game, the guys that take charges, the guys that go out and get rebounds, the guys that dive on floors. Those are the game changers, the difference makers.
You're right.
And even though some of these guys don't have like the best line or whatever, they're still game changers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that.
So that's the good thing about it, Zach, is they have, some of the seniors that like Mikhail Brown.
Yep, there's another one.
Man, it was just the contribution that they gave, man, it changed the culture of APA, even coming to a game.
I agree. There were some
everything
fun games
from
this year.
Man,
Exciting.
come on. Student section off the chain.
One of the best we went to. One of the
Listen, they were the best. I got to give APA
Around here, yeah.
I got to give
They were
APA
awesome.
top of the line. Yeah, they was the best. And their band. And so that's what I'm talking about, the culture.
That's
6-man band.
Crazy.
7-man band.
It sounded like there's a big old band there to play
Man,
together.
listen. And so that right there speaks to the culture that had been established there, Zach.
That's right.
And that's why you don't have just a real standout player, a player that's scoring 30 points. Everybody contributed.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
You talked about Mr. Brown. He averaged 4.2 points per game.
Yes, sir.
That doesn't sound like a lot, but when you have 5-6 guys averaging around the same
That's right.
contributing, that's a big
right.
deal.
That's right. That's right,
man.
Zach.
Yep, him. And then Mr. Nave, he only played 6 games this year, Kojak. I don't know but he averaged 5.7 points a game, 1 rebound. But, they're going to miss all those guys.
They are.
Yeah.
Because that's that puzzle piece.
Yep.
But I'm excited about what they got coming back too, though.
Man, they got some good guys coming back.
That one of my favorites on here, man. I'm gonna tell you, man, is that Mr. McClain,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Man.
5.1 points a game. Only a junior, so he'll be back. He'll be back for his senior season next year.
Man, that young man, listen, he's another one, man. He just has no idea. I'm talking about nowhere near the idea of how good he could really be.
And he's another one, if he puts the work in, Kojak, that he could really be outstanding next year.
Boy, Mr. McClain, I'm telling you, man, if you put the work in and you sell out to getting better at all costs, I'm going to get better. Man, I'm telling you, man, he is going to come through like a storm, man, and tear some stuff up.
I love it.
You.
Yeah, man. And then, hey, what about Cameron Anderson?
Man.
How good was he this year? When he came in and he did the part, didn't he?
Man, I like Mr. Anderson,
I do
man.
too.
I like him, man.
Yeah.
He athletic, shifty. You know, I
12.4 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, almost 3 assists a game, almost 2 steals a game. His line was good.
yeah, it just wasn't enough for me though.
Yeah.
Because I believe that Mr. Anderson, I believe he had a 20 plus high teens, you know, 19, at least around the 22-point game. You know what I'm saying? He had that type of skill to where, man, he could give you 22 a night.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, I'm serious, but
and he's got another year to come back and do that. I mean,
Listen.
he needs to come out next year and start out right out of the gate playing like that, doesn't he?
absolutely, and just really start playing with the high IQ of the game. You know what I'm saying? And not just out there just, well, I'm gonna throw something up, but everything is calculated. I'm gonna hit you with a combo move, with a 2-3 combo move, and I know where I'm gonna have you at that point. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming into my shot. See, when things start to be calculated with him, man, he's gonna really be dangerous.
I agree. They got a lot of good
Man,
things. They got a lot
listen.
of things going for him, man.
I feel the same way about the next man we talking about. Mr. Fathom.
I was getting ready to say Lincoln Fathauer, number 14. They're one of their big go-to guys this year. Averaged 13.6 points per game, 3.5 rebounds. He's another one, Kojak. He's a great shooter, streaky shooter. I'd like to see him actually not shoot with a little more confidence. Maybe even get some off earlier in the games. Sometimes he would have a really good quarter, or he would come, or we'd get off to I wouldn't say a bad start, but not necessarily a great start, a slow start, and then come out in the third quarter and light him up. Or have a great second half and not a first half. He's another one. If he could put 4 quarters together and he continues to work on that shot and shoot with confidence, he's another one that's dangerous.
Zach.
Lincoln, keep shooting that thing, though, man, because he can knock it down.
Man, Zach, you said it. Man, you said it perfectly, man. You can't show up first quarter absent, second quarter absent, then third quarter I catch fire. If he can, like you said, put them 4 quarters together.
Yeah.
Listen, man, he gonna come out, man. I mean, because he has the skill and the ability, Zach, to really take a game over.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Because of his shot.
He can either get you back into a game quickly, or he can get you a lead quickly if they're on.
Right.
He's on.
Right.
Yeah.
But shoot, we can't wait 3 quarters. You can't do that, Mr. Fathauer. Listen, that's why this season is going to be very important in the summer. You got to come on with it, sir. You got to come with it.
Yeah, and play with confidence. That's a big thing here. If these kids come out early and play with confidence, it's a big deal.
Yeah, you're right, Zach.
Yep. Is that it, Kojak? Mr. Mitchell, maybe? He's a junior. He'll be back, 2.5 points a game, 0.8 rebounds. Everybody contributes, guys. Just because you're
absolutely.
Not, even if we don't mention you and you're in practice and you're playing hard, you're making these guys better. You're getting better. You know, we always talk about next man up, Kojak. You never know when your opportunity is going to be.
Yeah.
Never.
And you know what, Zach? I really, that Nave, Mr. Nave, you know, he didn't play that much.
That's right.
You know, but I tell you what, man, just a little bit that we saw, man, if Mr. Nave go ahead, that was his, you know, he was a senior. So, man, I would like to have seen him get one more year, Zach.
Yeah, me too.
That would have been interesting.
So, Coach Fathauer, keep your head up. Keep playing hard. You guys are doing great over there. Real quick, I want to thank A.D. Bradford, Dave Bradford, thank you for letting us come in there. And, man, we had a wild game in there against LC this year. The crowd was off the charts. It was fun in there, wasn't it?
Man, it was unbelievable, man.
Great
game.
It was
unbelievable.
Yeah, and you know what? APA was in that game until
the
third quarter, I think, or something like that, where Liberty took off and had a great third quarter. We talked about always coming out in the third quarter and starting out the game right away.
There's a lot of turnovers.
Yes, it was. You got to take care of the ball, too. That's another thing. I'm glad you said that.
Yep.
APA has got to start taking care of the basketball.
Absolutely.
You can't turn the ball over like that and
right.
expect to be in some of these games. In fact, Kojak, I would contribute a lot of those losses to turning the ball over.
Oh, yeah.
If you take care of the ball, you're going to be in a lot more games than you were this year.
Yep.
So
I definitely agree. Absolutely. Great job, Coach Fathauer, man. Great job what you're doing over there. Man, we appreciate, the love that you showed the Kojak and Zach show. Man, listen, keep doing what you're doing and establishing that culture over there.
That's right. They're doing a great job, both Fathauer brothers.
Yes, sir.
Awesome job.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, guys, for everything this year.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to move on, Kojak. The next one, we covered a lot this year, the Delville Broncos.
Man, one of my favorites, man. One of my favorites, especially when they playing Bronco basketball.
That's right.
Now, when they ain't, man, I be like, man, who is this team?
Yep. 6-3 in the conference this year, 12-10 overall. But boy, we covered them 4 or 5 times this year, and we saw some big games, last-second shot games. We saw all kinds of stuff with them, didn't we? Coming back,
we did.
Man, they were fun to watch. And
they were.
And unfortunately for Ashley Fouch, coach over there, NAD, real quick, thank you, Ashley, for everything you've done this year for the Kojak and Zach show. So
she is awesome. I mean, that is.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, ND, our producer. She's trying to give us signals up here, and I'm a little too slow to catch them. But real quick, I don't know if you can see this. Maybe I can. Well, I'll put it up when we edit it. I'll put the picture up when we edit it. Check this out. Thank you, Ashley, for putting that together for us, the Kojak and Zach show. Man.
That's the type of stuff that I'm talking about, you know, with Coach Fouch.
She's awesome.
She is, man, I'm telling you, man, she is a class act. And I'm telling you, she is defying odds.
Yeah.
You hear me? She is defying odds, and I love it.
I do too.
She's making history, and I'm loving it, man. We are truly fans of Coach Fouch.
Yeah, me too. And then, hey, you got to give it up for her whole staff over there. Brady Smith.
Absolutely. The whole staff.
All those guys.
Love them.
Jeremy Adams.
Yes.
Camden Leisure. We got to talk about Camden and Shane, who does all their weightlifting and workout program. He does their statistics. I mean, those Broncos, they're just awesome folks all the way around. And we want to thank, our Catered Creations, too, for all the hospitality that they provided all year when we were over there. Thank you guys for everything. The whole Delville Bronco family, actually.
Man, you know what, man? After going over there and just being in that atmosphere, Zach, they almost made me. I didn't even want to go home. You hear what I'm saying? They feed us like that, man. And it's like, okay, it's time to go home. I'm like, almost like a little kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I done had so much fun. I don't want to go home.
That's funny. That's good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So they, unfortunately for the Delville Broncos, they have 5 seniors this year. So, but they've got some great guys that's returning that we're going to talk about. But the 5 seniors, man, Mr. Swingley. Let's start out with Trevor Swingley, Mr. Knee Brace. He's another guy that we keep talking about these players that doesn't really have like the huge D1 lines and all that stuff.
Right.
Mr. Swingley averaged 1.7 points a game, 2.4 rebounds. But how important was he and the kind of job that he got done when he was in the game, Kojak?
Man, priceless, man. Yeah. That kid right there is that kid is one. I'm gonna tell you. A lot of people. It's like, well, man, when I get first pick, I want to pick the one that's scoring the most. Listen to me, Mr. Swingley. If he's in the draft and I got to pick some players, man, listen, man. Let me get him first.
You know why else I'm getting him?
Why you getting him,
Because he can set a heck of a screen, baby. Because I'm coming off his screen and scoring.
Come on, man. And he going to take the charge.
Yes, he does. He's
he going to do. Man, exactly.
How valuable is a player like that, Kojak, that doesn't necessarily come in and get 10, 15 points a game, but can go out there and whatever the coach wants done, he gets it done. Or she, either one.
That's the type, Zach, that's the type of player to where, guess what? They really don't have to compete for their position because you don't find a lot of them like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't find a lot of kids that's going to do those things that Mr. Swingley does.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like, listen, I know when I'm going in and I'm not fighting for a position with nobody because I already know my job.
Yep.
That young man knows his job and he gets in there and he does it.
That's another reason why I got to give it to the coaching staff, too, because not only did Mr. Swingley do his job, all those Delville Broncos, when they come in, they performed for Ashley and the coaching staff.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they got a great, nice little thing going over there,
I love that family atmosphere that they have.
Man. Me too. And then, hey, let's talk about Ethan Colvin, one of the Colvin brothers.
Man, big
Senior
brother.
this year, big brother. And he's another one, Kojak, whose line 1.8 points a game, 1.3 rebounds, 1.2 assists, and he got injured this year. He was out a couple of games, took him a while to get back in, but he worked his way back in that starting lineup. Defensive guy, he'll get after anybody.
Anybody.
He can score when he needs to, but he's not a big scorer when he doesn't have to score. He's got other guys on here that can put it up. You know what I mean? So he would get the ball to the right guy, hustle, does what the Colvin boys. They're fun to watch too, aren't they?
Man, listen, man. that's another household to where I know him and I know him and Noah.
Growing up.
Listen to me, competitive. You hear me?
Yeah.
First one got to get to the restroom. You know what I'm saying? They fighting, elbowing each other.
Yeah.
You know, food, all of that. You know, in the
Yeah.
Coven house, you hear a lot of stuff being broke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
That's
somebody, and both of them fast.
Yeah, they are.
You know what I'm
Fast
saying?
as can
So,
be.
man, listen,
And
absolutely.
strong. That's good.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, hey, a couple more seniors. Logan Leach, Mr. Leach.
Yeah.
6.2 points a game, 6 rebounds a game, 1.2 steals. I got to tell you, he's another guy that was just so valuable for the Broncos this year. We saw him hit a game winner.
Yes.
Against Elwood. Was it Elwood that game? Or
Yes.
What a game winner he won.
Man.
Always, you know, I mean, right place, right time.
Right place, right time.
But he made sure he was at the right place at the right time. He saw
Right.
that shot being short. He got there, put it in right at the buzzer, and Delville won that game. That was exciting. That was one of the exciting games we had all
Man,
this
that
season.
was super exciting,
Yeah, it
man.
was.
That was super exciting. Man, Mr. Leach is the type of player, man, to where it's like he could be like half Christian Leitner.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm
see
saying?
that. I can see that.
Yeah, he can be that because see, like down low, he can get you a basket or whatnot. Great footwork
Yep.
in there, you know. But man, he can just do many different things, man.
He could.
Many different
Yeah.
things, and you be surprised and be like, "Who was that? Oh, that's Mr. Leach."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Coming out of nowhere, and there he is, man. So, man, he was a great asset,
Yep.
man, to the Broncos
Sure was.
basketball team, man.
And then another one that was like Leach, but Coleman Newsom.
Man,
How important was he, Kojak?
man, he was like, and you said that, Zach. You said that he was just like a Mr. Leach. Man, listen, I may be undersized, but I'm a rebound. I'm a block out. I'm a beat you to the position. But one thing about Mr. Newsom, though, he gonna put that ball in the bucket.
17.7 points a game and 8 rebounds a game, Kojak.
He gonna put it in the bucket,
And
Zach.
he earned a nickname this year.
Man, listen. Man, look. You know one thing about him is I love the fact. Listen, he gonna deliver.
He is.
And as a matter of fact, he went to the announcer and told the announcer, "Listen, I love it, Mister." He went to the announcer and was like, "Can you?" Because the announcer give out nicknames
over there,
too,
yeah.
right?
He does a good job over there, too, announcing games. Good job.
Mr. Gick.
Yep.
Yeah, Mr. Gick. Listen, man, you did a fabulous job. Yeah, we like listening to you too. But he did, man, and he went over there and told him, man, listen, can you go ahead and call me the postman?
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
because he
can you-
delivered, right?
Yeah, because he delivers.
Does it all
Man,
down there.
yes, he
Does it all.
does, man.
He's
yes,
going to
he
be hard to
does.
replace next year.
Hey,
And,
listen, yeah.
you talked about this, how he plays so much bigger than he is. I mean,
Absolutely.
I don't have his height here in front of me, Kojak. What is he, 6'4", maybe? Somewhere around there, 6'3"?
Could be probably a legit 6'3".
Okay, I got to tell you, though, he plays 6'8",
Yes, he
6'9". He plays that
Yes,
big
he
in the
does.
post. He uses his body well, and he's a finisher. So they're going to
Now, Zach, with that skill that he has down low, if he steps out on the perimeter and he has the jump shot
Yeah.
and the dribbling skills, man, listen.
He did hit a couple threes this year.
Yeah, he
but
did.
wasn't out there very much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, they got one more senior, Kojak. We got to talk about Mr. Merrick Adams.
Stud.
Yeah. Merrick had a good year. He was also injured this year. Didn't play all the entire season.
Right.
Came back, it was injured, came back. But he ended up having a great year. Ended up averaging 18.6 points a game, 4.5 rebounds a game, 2.2 steals, 1.8 assists. And, man, we saw him have some special minutes, didn't we? Some finishes.
Man, he had such a quick release, man. Like
Quickest around.
man, listen, man, you show enough right, man. Quickest around. You just don't see nobody firing. Getting into the shot as quick as him.
And when he had it going, man, it was fun to watch. Wasn't it?
Listen, man, the goal
Good
was
job,
as
Merrick.
big as, the Atlantic Ocean. You
Yeah.
hear me? He can throw it however you want to throw it, and it's going in, man.
And from anywhere.
From anywhere.
Yeah, not just behind the three. He's from the volleyball line a couple times.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
And when he feeling good, this was even after the injury. I love it because he like a bounce back kid. Now he caught a couple bodies though,
Yeah.
Hey, we'll flush on you too. So not only will I fill you up from the perimeter, shoot your eyes out. If I catch you slipping, I'm gonna posterize you too.
He's a leaper. And
Man, listen,
he's
man.
another one that played above the rim this year.
Man, he did.
Yeah.
He was excited. I was hearing about him, but I didn't know him. But I was hearing about him, and I heard about him from a young man that used to be at Lapel, but now he's at Delville.
That's correct.
Hunter.
Yep.
I don't know how to say Hunter last name, but I love him.
Suhenna.
Suhenna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? He's another one. I like his attitude because
Yes, sir.
he likes to get in the gym,
Yes,
work on
sir.
his game. We saw him do that after an injury
Yes,
this
we
year.
did. Yes,
he was
we did.
okay, but he ended up coming back out and getting shots up. He's going to be a big contributor for them next year. I know we're going to.
Listen, and they're excited about him already.
I'm excited.
And I am too.
Yeah.
I am too.
And to go along with him, they're going to have a junior, going to be a senior next year, the tank, Noah Colvin.
Oh.
What kind of year did he have this year? How important was Noah Colvin?
Man, that young man there, man. It was like, oh man, he spoil you, he tease you, and then he back off of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, look, don't do me like that. You know, listen, the tank, man. I really believe, man, he was just the type of player that you would love to play with because he's not like he's not selfish.
Not at all.
You know, even if he didn't knock down 4 threes in a row, he's still looking for his teammate. Hey, what? And I'm saying, listen, no, sir. You don't look for nobody else.
Not when he can shoot like he can shoot.
Man, let it go.
He averaged 10, almost 10.5 points a game, 4.2 rebounds, and he's a little guy.
Yes.
Noah's little, so that's another reason why I love him. He's representing
Man, you
us
right
little
about
folk.
that. You right about that.
5.2 assists a game, Kojak.
Yeah.
So you were talking about him sharing the ball.
Yeah.
5.2
Yeah.
assists and 2 steals a game.
Right.
He's all over the place.
Man, he's a floor general.
Floor general.
Yeah, a floor general for real.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
at times we wish he'd be like, okay, you done got the ball where it needed to go. Now you need to kind of, contribute a little bit more
Yeah.
offensively.
Absolutely. And he did at times.
There you go.
Yeah, but man, sometimes I'd be like, man, shoot that, Noah.
And
When
he
was-
needed
Yeah.
to, So I think this year coming up as a senior, I think he's going to definitely take on that on that
He
responsibility.
needs to.
Yeah,
when you
absolutely.
lose guys like Merrick Adams, who's scoring 18 points, almost 20 points a game. You're losing Mr. Newsom, who's scoring 18 points a game. You're losing Mr. Leach inside. He's going to have to pick it up offensively
That's
next
right.
year.
You right, Zach.
He's got to get 15, 16, 17 a game, easy.
You right. You right. Good thing about it is they got Mr. Wilson coming back
Yes,
too.
they do, and he was fun to watch. Wasn't
Yes,
he? Josh Wilson,
yes.
3.1 points a game, 1.7 rebounds, a steal, and 1.2 assists. Had a great. Every time he's on the floor, Kojak, good things happen.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Before we wrap this up, Zach, there was one young man that I didn't really see, but when he got out, I was like, where this young man been? And that Mr. Sexton.
Yep.
Cooper Sexton. I don't know where he came from, but I was like, oh my good man, I like what I see. So hopefully he gets, does what he has to do, this summer so he could be a big contributor
That's right.
for the Broncos.
That's right.
this
Oh, it's a
fall.
whole new season next year.
That's right.
So work on your game. You never know what you don't know what your role is going to be next year.
You don't.
You know what I mean? So work
You
on your
don't.
game. Get it going.
But I tell you what, when you put yourself in a position
Yep.
to where you can do many things, now your options
Yep.
open up.
That's right.
The coach may be like, well, I need this or I need that, and I can feel it. So
I like it. Let's see here, real quick. Mr. Snyder, he had a good year this year on the JV team. When he came in on varsity a few times, played hard.
did.
I like to see him work
Sure
on his
enough.
game this summer.
Yes.
You know what? I will say something about him, Kojak. He's another one. He's quick.
Yep.
He's got a nice shot when he
Yep.
gets his shot off.
Yep.
If he could learn to if he worked on his game and he
Yes.
take care of the ball,
yes,
if he worked on his game and then not turn it over, he's going to get a lot of minutes next year. Matter of
You're
fact,
right.
he's going to be a big contributor for them next year if he buys in. If he really dedicates himself this summer, and
I
buys
agree
in,
with you on that,
he
Zach.
could be a real big contributor next year.
I
They're going to
agree.
need somebody like him to step in. Next year.
absolutely. That guard play would be
Yep.
phenomenal.
Yes, it
would
would.
be. Yeah, it would be really, really good.
Yeah, it would. So hey, I don't know what your plans are, Mr. Snyder, but hey, if you work on that game, I think next year could be a big year for you.
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
I think that's it, Kojak. Thank you, Ashley, for everything you guys have done this year. Man, I can't wait
Thank
till
you.
next year.
Absolutely. And we forgot to say that she even gave some merch. She
That's
even
right.
gave us sweaters. That's
Thank
what I'm
you,
saying,
Ashley.
Coach Fouch.
She's on it, didn't she? And was a baller.
And was a hooper,
That's
too.
right. She bleeds purple. So she said.
That's all right. We love her anyways.
That's right,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? You know, we love her anyway.
All right, next up, the Elwood Panthers. Van Skyok, AD and coach, love him.
Man. You know what's so powerful about Coach V is many different places different schools that we've went to, they've mentioned him.
That is true.
And mentioned, just his heart and what he's established at Elwood. Now, listen, it's one thing for us to feel a certain way about him.
Correct.
But when everywhere you go, they start to mentioning, what he's doing and his heart for Elwood, man.
And
listen,
the kids, man. He cares. He cares, Kojak.
Man.
He loves his kids, and you can tell, can't you?
Man, absolutely, man.
Coach, AD, Van Skyok, man. We sure love you, and thank you for everything you've done for the Kojak and Zach show this year. We sure appreciate it. The whole Elwood staff, but
yes,
man,
yes.
and they went through some issues this year,
Yep.
that they had to fight through, and
Yes.
they come together as a family and as a team. And I know they
Yes,
didn't have
they
the
did.
record that they wanted to, 8-16 overall, but they had some guys out there that contributed. They had here's the thing, Kojak, 6 seniors that they're losing next year. That's going to be
Man.
tough to replace. But they do have some guys coming up next year. If they work on their game, they're going to be really good. They can be good. They got the
Yes.
potential to be.
Yes.
And one thing I do want to mention, I don't mean to interrupt you there.
No, you good.
Coach Van Skyok, I want to congratulate you too, because he's going to retire from being the coach next year, but he's going to continue being AD. So
Yeah.
he's got a younger son that plays, wants to be able to watch him and follow him. I totally get that. So
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, that just makes sense. But one thing that I love is that he's already blazed a trail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's already, cleared out the path for whoever to take his spot, one of the assistant coaches or whatever. He's already created the culture. So, all you have to do is just go ahead and just follow through.
That's right.
With what's already been laid
right.
down, man, because Coach, he's done it, man.
that's right.
He's
And
done
they got
it.
a great staff over there.
Yes,
Mr.
they
Bennett,
do.
Mr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Richards, all you
Yes.
guys, man. We
And I
appreciate
love that
everything.
Elwood staff, man.
I know. Thank you for everything you guys have done. They're another one that have been great to us all season. Their
Yes, they
hospitality's
have.
been great.
Yes.
I mean, thank you guys.
Yep.
Let's talk about some of their kids.
That'll work.
A couple seniors here. Mr. Xavier Davenport. Mr. Davenport has been a great fan of us this year. He's come up and talked to us. We've taken pictures with Xavier. I love watching his game. I mean, we just met him this year. We didn't get a chance
Yes.
to follow their whole career,
Yes.
but man, he's another one. He contributed point guard for him, one of the guards for him. He's another little fella, so that's why I like him.
Absolutely,
yeah,
man.
So Xavier, good job
Absolutely.
this year.
Yeah.
Good luck in the future.
You know what I loved about Mr. Davenport is he didn't mind taking criticism about his game.
That's correct.
He would come up and he would be like, hey, so what do you think about my game?
Yeah.
And see, I love that, Zach.
It would almost when he would come up and ask
Yes.
those Kojak, it was almost like he wanted to hear the bad stuff.
Yes.
Not even he almost was like,
Yes.
"Hey, you played good tonight." He didn't want to hear that. He wanted to hear us say, "Okay, what did I do? What can I do better? What did I
Right.
do wrong? What can I do better?"
Right.
I love that attitude.
That's a special type of
Yeah.
player.
Good. Thanks for pointing that out, because
Yeah.
you're right about that. Good job, Xavier.
Absolutely.
Yep. Another senior they have. What we got here? Mr. Ward. James Ward, big fella.
Oh, man.
I don't have their stats in front of me, Kojak, but he big time scorer this year, big time rebounder this year, and he was a ZBA boy.
Man, I
Back
would
in the
love to
day.
see him get one more year,
I would
Zach.
too. I would
Ooh.
too. Yeah. James, good job, buddy.
Yeah,
Proud
great
of you.
job.
Yep. And then Bo Brandon, senior,
Man,
Mr.
listen.
Race car driver.
Man, I think Bo, he really spoiled us against Delville because, man, he put on the show.
Yeah, he
you
did.
hear me? And so it was almost, I felt like me and Bo Brandon had a love-hate relationship, so it was almost like, man, I mean, the expectation that we had for Bo Brandon, we never dropped
That's
it,
true.
no matter what, because of what we saw.
That's right. That's what I was
Yeah.
going to say. We saw him get the job done. We knew what
Absolutely.
he could do. So it was. I mean, when he came out there and didn't quite contribute sometimes, some of those games that we were at, we just expected more out of him because he could do. I mean, he was just such a great player. He used his body good. That game we saw him, he was knocking down shots, Kojak.
Man.
He was getting to the rim and finishing.
Yes.
I just would like to have seen him be more consistent doing that. But he had a great year, too, Bo. Good job, buddy.
Yeah. Great job.
Yeah.
And we know it, too, man. This dude, listen, man, young man, he drive race cars.
And he's
listen,
good.
it
And he's
takes
good
some
at
guts to get in there.
Man.
Yeah, and not only does he do it, he's good at
Yeah.
it. Man, it takes some guts to do that. So, hey, listen, we're going to come check you out on the track, too.
That's right.
Mr. Brandon.
That's right. And then another couple seniors here, Mr. Sullivan, Caden Sullivan, and then Mr. Blackford. He's another one that had a...
Man, Mr. Blackford, man, he showed...
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, man. Them last few games that we
He
covered.
showed up big.
Man, listen, man, he put on a show.
Yeah, he did.
You hear me?
Yeah.
I mean, because he did it, man. He defended. He shot. You know, man, his shot, man. I remember when we was, where was that at? Westdale?
Yep.
Man, listen, he hitting like 4 in a row. I mean, like.
From deep. Like
from deep.
And at the right time. Like, you know, I mean, those were big shots. And those were hard to hit. And he stepped
Big
up when they were
shots.
down or whatever, and he would hit at the right time, knock it down, catch him up. They were in that game, that last game. They ended up losing to that Westdale.
And we told, and after the game, we said, listen, Mr. Blackford, man, you had to come out second half, beginning the third. You got to check and see if I'm still on fire.
That's
So
right.
you need to take the next 7 shots.
That's right.
to make sure to see if I'm on fire or not.
Yeah, we mentioned that, didn't we, during the game, Coach?
Yeah.
We were like, what would we have done?
Yeah, man, listen, I need to take them next 7.
That's right. Let's see. What else we got there? We got one more senior.
Yes, Casa.
Yeah. Isaac, number 12.
Yeah, Isaac.
Yep.
Let me see how you say his name. Casas.
I'm just going to let you say it because I'm not. Is it?
Casas.
Okay.
That's what we're going to say. Hey, listen, Isaac, if we butchered your name.
No if. We
please-
probably did.
Yeah, we probably did. So, hey, go ahead and reach out to us, man, and let us know how to correctly pronounce your name, man.
That's good.
Because we definitely want to get it right, man. Absolutely.
And then, Kojak, some of their returning players, man. Jaden Mullins. He's another. I'm proud of that young man.
I am, too.
He had some difficulties this year, dealing with some things, and
The loss of his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough.
and where did he want to be around his family and his teammates?
That's right.
You know what I mean? We talk about this all the time. Yes, we talk about basketball, but in this situation, the situation Elwood had this year, it was beyond basketball, way beyond basketball.
Absolutely,
So,
Zach.
yeah,
Absolutely.
They stuck together. I love that. They became a family.
Yeah. And see, that goes back to the staff. You
Yep,
know,
sure
it starts
does.
from the head and flows down, man, to where that young man, Mr. Mullins, felt like, hey, my safe place after dealing with something like this is to be with my team.
That's right.
You know, and so, man, I'm like, wow, man, that's the type of environment that, that you want to set.
That's right.
You know, because it goes beyond high school.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, that type of in relationship, it goes beyond high school.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jaden, keep your head up. Keep working hard, man. You're a heck of an athlete. He had some big games we
Yes,
watched
he
this
did,
year.
man.
Very impressive.
Yeah, man. Listen, Mr. Mullins, you work on your game, man. Because we seen him bringing the ball up a little bit.
Yes, we did.
You know, a lot. The last game for sure, working on that ball handling and outside that arc,
Yep.
mid range,
Yeah.
outside the arc, working on your shot, man. I'm
Yep.
telling you, young man. I don't know. You probably, but he looked like he played football too.
He's got a nice body on
Man,
him, too,
he
doesn't
do.
He's got an athletic body.
Yeah, he does.
Probably can play any sport he wants to, Coach.
And he bounce. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah,
bouncy
dude.
like when he walked, like he
Yeah.
about ready to take off running at any time. So he looked like, man, he hit hard on the football
Yep.
field. Man, yeah. Whatever you're doing, young man, go ahead and put some work in this summer so we can get it done.
I'm a fan.
Yeah,
I'm a
me
fan
too.
of him.
Me
and then
too.
real quick, Kojak, I want to talk about Braden Etchison real quick. The sophomore. We didn't get to see him
Yes.
play a whole lot at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But, man, at the end of the season, he came in and contributed for Coach Van Skyok.
Yeah, he
He's
did.
going to be fun to watch. And
He
he's
did.
only a sophomore. He's a ZBA kid. And I talked to him after that loss, Kojak. I told him, I said, Braden, I was very impressed with the way you played tonight. He scored. He not a lot, but he did what he had to do. Was in the right places at the right
Yes.
time. Hustled. Was going after every loose ball, every rebound. He's another one that could really, if he works on his game this summer, by the time he's a senior, he's a sophomore, he'll be a junior next year. By the time he's a senior, man, he could be one of the big names around the county.
Man, you know what, Zach? I'm going to agree with you, man. They have a bunch of sophomores.
Yes,
Their
they
whole
do.
team is sophomore.
Yeah.
And with Mr. Mullins is a junior.
Yes.
Man, listen, you guys put the work in. Man, I'm telling you, man, you could have something special in Elwood.
Yep. And they got a couple guys on that JV team that can come up and probably contribute
Sure
right away,
does.
too. So, those guys need to work on their game as well.
Absolutely.
Bright future for the Elwood Panthers.
I believe so.
I do, too. They're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Great job.
Had a lot of fun going over there, didn't we, covering them this year?
Oh,
guys
man,
and
loved
girls.
it.
So,
Loved it. I'm looking forward to next year.
Me too.
Going back,
Me too.
to Panther because the gym is sweet.
It is, isn't it?
Man, and the bleachers, how they got the Panther on there.
like
Listen to me. Hey, yeah, that's nice there.
Yeah, they refinished that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they redid that.
All right, let's move on, Kojak. We're going to move on to the Frankton Eagles.
Wee.
Man.
The
Coach-
old Eagles nest.
Coach Brobston,
That's
AD
another
Brobston.
one. Man, this is another one of my favorites, man.
Thanks, Brent.
It's another one of my
Yeah.
favorites, man.
Hospitality was off the charts over there this year.
Yes.
Not just the food, but, I mean, they put us in. They did everything
Yeah.
we needed, didn't they?
They
Anything we
did.
needed.
They
Coach
did.
Brobston, thank you for everything you did.
Man,
Their whole staff, too. You know.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just top of the line,
Top of the
made
line.
us feel good. It's just one thing. I mean, they really made us feel like, man, hey, we want to honor what you guys did in your past,
I appreciate
for the
that.
game of basketball. And this was one of the places, man, that they honored that, and it was just a blessing. We're not looking for people to honor that, but for them to do that, man, it was a blessing.
Yeah, I agree.
It really was.
Yep. And unfortunately for Coach, he's got 6 seniors this year.
Man.
They ended up 15-9, 6-1 in their conference. Kojak. They had a great year this year, and some of the games that they lost, they were in it. You know what I mean? They had some chances to take, to win a couple extra games there, but they still had an outstanding season this year.
Right. They did.
Yeah.
They did.
And, we talk about Coach Brobston and his staff. He's bringing back old coaches that's helping. He brings back old players that played. I'm telling you what, that's another program that I'm really impressed with over there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Zach.
they're tough.
And it starts from the head. That's what I'm
Yep.
saying. It just flows down,
Sure
man.
does.
And that's why they got the type of play out of the players that they did.
I agree.
Yeah.
And a couple of their seniors that they're gonna lose next year is Max and Sam Barr, the brothers. Now listen, they didn't get in a lot this year, but when they
Correct.
got in, Kojak, they contributed, and they're another one that makes their teams better in practice.
Yes,
Without them
absolutely.
in there guarding guys and doing what they need to do, Frankton's not going to be as good as they were.
You're right.
They need every person
You're
on
right,
that
Zach.
roster.
You're right, Zach. You're right.
So good
Absolutely.
job, boys.
And when they came in, they did what they were
Yes,
supposed to
they
do.
did. That's right. Yep. And then, hey, what we got here? Mr. Bott, Reed Bott. He was a senior this year. Mr. Emmel.
Mr. Emma was a senior?
Yep. Well, it is on my sheet. I don't know if it is on the other sheet.
Oh,
Let me
yeah,
see
he
here.
was. Oh, man, I thought I would have
Yeah.
liked to seen him have another year, man.
Me too.
Yeah, I sure would have.
And then they got a couple seniors left here. A couple of their go-to guys, Kojak.
Yeah.
Austin, Bubba, Nunley.
Yeah, we can go ahead and scratch Austin. You know what I'm saying? They need to go and take that off his birth certificate. You understand? I mean, it's almost
Bubba fits, doesn't it?
yeah, but listen, Bubba, when he go and people be like, "Hey, what's your name?" Bubba Nunley.
That's
And like,
catchy.
your parents named you Bubba, and all they have to do is yeah. Once you get to know me, you gonna understand why they call me Bubba. He's
one that will take a charge and he'll mess up the floor.
Man, he'll jump it. Come on.
He's another one you talked about fighting a bear.
Man, come on, man. If you
funny.
see Bubba Nunley and the bear fighting, help the bear.
That's pretty
I
good.
mean, that's just it. That is what it is.
That's pretty
man.
good. Real quick, I want to thank all these players, not just for Frankton, but I mean all the teams we've covered, all the teams we're getting ready to cover. I want to thank all these players for actually bringing us in like one of the family members, Kojak. They've talked to us this year, gave us interviews. I've enjoyed being around all the players this year, and I'd like to thank their parents and as well, because a lot of their parents have come up and talked to us after games. They've caught us going out in the hallway.
Absolutely.
What a great experience that's been.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what, Zach? And this Frankton team, man, they do something special. After our games, they come to us.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
they'll
it's
come up to
almost like whoever had a good game, Coach Brobson would send them to us. And, man, it was just such a treat, man, to see them young men coming up them bleachers, man.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And they were excited to talk to us, man.
I was excited to have them.
Hey, you right about that.
After watching them perform out there, I want
Absolutely.
an autograph.
Absolutely.
And then, hey, we got to talk about their last senior real quick, Nate Dogmore.
Man.
Nate, awesome. You're an awesome player, brother.
I was hoping Nate was a sophomore.
Me too, or a freshman.
Yeah, man.
Nate had some big games this year.
He did.
Yeah, he's
He
another
was
athlete.
really fun to watch.
Yes,
man.
he was.
Man, he was fun
I
to
kind of wish we
watch.
would have done this 3 years ago, so we
Man,
could have
I
caught
do
a lot of
too.
these guys' and gals' careers, more of their careers. I feel.
Listen, so we're gonna go ahead and apologize, because we're late. We come in on the tail end. Y'all on your way out, and man, we missed so much. So, man, forgive us, please, for being so late.
I'm kind of mad at me. I'm kind of mad at myself
Man.
for not getting in the gym and following some of these kids earlier.
Yeah, you know what, Zach? It's almost like now you know better. You know you should have been, man. Because I agree with you, man. Man, we missed out.
I agree.
We did,
Yeah.
man.
And then, hey, let's talk about some of their returning players. How about Dietzer? Mr. Dietzer.
Listen, I'm gonna come in and he came in and dropped a couple trade. I was like,
Yes, he
man,
did.
what in the world?
Shooting him with confidence, too, wasn't
Out the gate.
Yeah.
Like,
Cold.
I don't need to warm up
Doesn't
no
need to-
nothing.
I love that.
I'm coming in out the gate.
You know, that's one thing I love about the Frankton Eagles. When Coach Brobson does his substitutions, it doesn't matter what kid he puts in there.
You're right, Zach.
They do
Yes,
whatever
sir.
Coach wants them
Yes,
to do.
sir.
They better, or they're not going to be out there. So
Right.
That's one reason why. But, man, they're fun to watch.
Yes, they are.
Mr. Dietzer, good job, buddy. Ethan
Good job.
Stansberry, sophomore.
Man, I like
What a year.
Mr. Stans.
Me too. Big-time player.
Yes, sir.
Hits big shots.
Yes, sir.
He does it all. He's another one that goes out there and contributes, does everything coach and staff asks him to do.
It's
So,
man, it's him and there's another player.
We're getting ready
We
to talk about it.
I mean, they
You can
like
say it. You can say his name.
oh, Mr. Carmack.
Brady
Man,
Carmack.
listen,
That's
man. They like, man, I mean, if you didn't know no better, you'd be like, man, are they twins?
They play similar, don't they?
Man, yes,
Tough.
they do,
Just
man.
tough.
Yes, they do. And I believe, man, that if they really lock in this summer working on it, man, I'm telling you, man, they're going to really be a big part
they
of
are.
the success of the Frankton Eagles, man.
And I'm going to tell you one reason why they're going to be successful as well, because they've got a point guard coming back, Kojak, who is not only a team leader, he leads that team. He's
And
also
will bust your head.
bust your head. He's a scorer. Joey Wright.
Oh, I love J-Dub,
J-Dub.
man. Yes, man. Yes.
I'm expecting big things out of him his senior year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Coach got to give you the green light already.
Yeah.
You know, work on that.
Yeah.
He already is a great shooter, but man, he's
It's
fun to
just,
watch.
I mean, it's with J-Dub, this is what I see, Zach. It's just him having that killer mentality.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm coming out here to destroy you. Any point guard you put out here on me, or if you put a two guard on me, whoever you put on me, listen to me. Man, I hope you packed your dinner. You know what I'm saying? Not just your lunch, but your dinner, because look, man, I'm about to fill you up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He needs to come out with that type of mentality, Zach, because he can do it.
Yes, he can.
Oh, he could do it, man.
He played like a senior this year. I'm kind of glad he's back again because
Yeah.
if you watched him play, you'd be like, oh, well, he's a great senior.
Nice body.
Yeah, he does it. And he uses it well.
Yes, he does, man. J-Dub, man.
Love you,
hey,
man.
Look.
Keep it up.
Yeah, definitely love you, man. No plan, man, coming this fall. Listen to me. Come out here with the mindset of whoever you are, listen to me. I feel sorry for you.
That's right. That's how you got to play. I love that.
Come on, man.
All right. Good job, Frankton Eagles. Thank you, Coach Brobson. We appreciate everything. We're looking forward to doing it again next year, man. Covering all these kids that deserve it.
You know what, Zach? One more that
did I miss one?
that we
Sorry.
forgot about. That played, and that was Mr. Miller.
Yes.
He did a great job down low. You know what I'm saying? Man, the kid got in there. He rebounded, man.
Yep.
He got to.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, made the little layups, when they would hit him.
Yes, he did.
He put the ball in the bucket, man. I'm telling you, man, Mr. Miller is going to be
He's got a
great
nice
addition.
body, too.
Yes, sir.
Like, he can move those guys around in there.
Yes, sir.
He's another one. If he went after some of those 50-50 balls or went after some of those rebounds, he's hard to deal with.
You right, Zach.
I like his game, too.
Yeah, me too.
They're going to be fun to watch. I'm
They are.
I'm going
I'm
to miss
excited.
those seniors. I'm going to miss watching those seniors.
But we're going to definitely give them a shout out, though, when we go to the Eagles' nest, though.
Dang right.
Yeah.
We are. All right, let's move on. We only got a couple left, and then we're going to briefly talk about some of the other teams that we covered this year. We're not going to go into quite detail, but the Lapel Bulldogs. Coach Cherry. Thank you, Coach Cherry. Man, what a season they ended up having, Kojak.
Man, listen, they call fire. They call fire like, man. But you know what, Zach? We're not surprised.
Not surprised at all. They started out a little slow this year, but they
did.
started out with some big time games too. Anderson was their first game.
Yes.
I mean, but once they figured it out, I don't know how many. Mr. Craig, we talk about his
Sure
dad.
did.
Is it Brandon?
Brandon Craig.
Yeah, we talked to Brandon every once in a while, and I think he posted here a while back where they won 17 in a row or something like that.
Yeah.
Or, maybe lost one.
Ended
in their
up
last
like
17
18
games.
and 2 or something.
Great. I mean, they had a great year this year.
Man.
Yeah, they're another. They don't have 18 and 6 is what the final was on here, but. I don't have all their stats in front of me, but man, what some great contributors they had. They only had 3 seniors. You went to school with one of them's dad, Matthew.
Yeah, Matty J.
That's right.
That's what we called him.
Yeah, Mr. Jarrett, senior this year. What a game. Hey, he came in and did good, didn't he?
Yes.
Had a great season this year.
Yes, he did. He came in. When he did come in, man, he got the job done.
Yes, he
Whatever
did.
the coach, it was like, hey, I need for you to come in and really give us some poise, really give us some composure out there. I don't need you out here and got us running like a chicken with this. Listen, he came in and he brought stability to the team.
Yes, he did.
He did.
You're absolutely right about that. Yeah. Not only that, Kojak, we talk about it when subs come in, how you don't want to drop off.
Right.
Well, not only did that, he came in and elevated
he
the
sure
level of
did.
the team.
Yeah, he did. He did, Zach.
I liked his play this year.
Yeah, I did too.
And then another senior we got, Mr. Whitty.
Yeah.
Man,
Mr. Whitty's a
6'4",
stud, man. He just like, man, what you need me to do? You need me to climb a mountain, or you need me to run through the wall. Man, he's just a stud, man.
Right.
Like,
He
man,
is.
I'm gonna do whatever needs to be done, man. He
to
was
watch.
just an athlete, man. Mr. Whitty was he's a good athlete, man.
Yep. And then their last senior, Matthew Carpenter. He was another big contributor for him this year, 6'6".
I
big
like
fella.
Mr. Carpenter.
Got a nice
man.
game. Nice game, doesn't he?
Man, if he had one more year, it would almost be like unfair.
I'd like to see it.
Straight up, because man, I just seen how he was dominant in some games, and I would really like to see him really be dominant just even more, man. But I enjoy watching that young man.
Me too.
Yeah.
But other than those 3 seniors, Kojak, they've got 2 juniors, 5 sophomores, and a freshman
Man.
that are coming back. Man. Let's talk about them juniors real quick.
Okay.
Brody and Bodie Judge. How good are those two?
Man.
Both different kind of games, actually.
Different kind of game.
Yeah. Both are awesome. Both those guys. Both have a nice shot. Both can score. Both can rebound.
Are they twins?
I don't know.
They have to be.
They might be.
They have to be. Because their names, they're in the same grade. And their names are just missing one letter.
Yep.
They have to be twins, man.
They both had big time seasons this year.
Man, I like both of their games.
And they're coming back. That's what's outstanding.
Now, Brody, though.
Yeah. Athletic, isn't he?
Listen, man.
Yeah. He's got a nice little athletic game to him.
And the swag that he has.
You always talk about bounce. He has that.
Man, that kid, man, I'm telling you, man. I can see that kid on the big time stage, man.
Yeah.
For real.
Yep. And then I want to talk about Bodie real quick too. He can play anywhere on the floor. Not only does he contribute down low, he steps out and knocks down that 3 consistently. He's fun to watch too, man.
Man.
Those guys are great.
Exactly that's what makes him a valuable player.
Yeah.
Man, he can play all 5.
Yes, he can. Sure can.
Come on, man.
Then let's see, the freshman Kinnemer coming back, and then you've got how about Devin Craig, sophomore point guard, started for him all year, heck of a shooter. Actually, Kojak, he's one that we kind of like to see him shoot a little bit more, because he can knock it down from anywhere. He's another one can shoot anywhere on the floor
and get to the basket.
You talk about a nice left-hand floater,
Yeah,
right-hand
man.
floater, can go either way. He's got a nice little game to him. Heck of a football player, too. But
Really?
yep, that's what I hear.
Well, see, the only thing I think about Mr. Craig is he's just too nice.
That's right.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, like very respectful.
Yep.
Want to be, man, listen, throw all that out the door, Mr. Craig.
Yep.
When you step in between them lines, man, listen to me.
Well,
they ought to be man, it's a different kid.
Yeah. Well, he's no longer an underclassman, man. He's an upperclassman now.
on,
He just
man.
play
Yeah.
like it because
Absolutely.
play with a little confidence and keep shooting that ball with confidence because when he gets it going, man, he's unstoppable. He can hit from anywhere.
I can see that kid coming out, Mr. Craig coming out next year, man, and no problem. Listen to me, and no problem averaging 22 to 25.
Man,
That's the type of skill he got.
well, here's what I like about it. Not only is he a shooter, they got another shooter on that team who's also a sophomore. We know his dad real well. We know we know his mom and their side of the family
Yes.
real well. Quinn Wilkins,
Man.
lefty. Love.
Pretty stroke.
It's pretty. I love his shot. He's another one, Kojak, that I think just didn't get enough shots off this year. Now, look, he didn't really need to come in and be a huge scorer for him this year because they got the Judge brothers and stuff like that and, some other guys that actually put it in consistently every night.
Right.
But let me tell you what. When Quinn gets it going, he can shoot with anybody in the state.
Man.
Anybody in the state.
Man, to have all those pieces. Man, Zach, I'm telling you, man. I mean, if all those pieces come together next year, man, listen, high scoring games, and I can also see them making a run for the state championship.
Ooh, I like that.
Seriously, man. I mean, because they got the pieces,
Yeah.
Zach. They have the pieces, man. I'm telling you, man. They do.
Coach Cherry, man, he's got a bright future next year.
Well,
doesn't he?
hopefully they buy into his system and they listen to him, man, and do what he say, man. If he say, look, I need for you to shoot the ball, listen, man, shoot the ball. Listen, Mr. Wilkins, if he say we need you to let that, is he a ZBA youngster?
He came to my camp years ago when he was young, but yeah. He's another one. If he shoots with confidence, he's dangerous.
Jay, come on, man.
Just got to get
Come on.
shots up.
Let's go. Get him.
Yeah,
Get him
and
in
then
there.
They got another sophomore Kojak who's got the last name that fits his game. Tyler Cash.
Oh,
Tough,
yes.
isn't he? He's going to be fun to watch.
Yes,
I'm
he
telling you.
is.
He did play some varsity this year, came in and
Yes.
contributed right away, but played a lot of JV this year and kind of dominated at the JV level.
Man.
He played really well, and he's another one that's going to be tough
Yes,
coming back
sir.
next year.
I'm looking forward to
Yep.
seeing Mr. K.
Yeah, Kevin Cherry, Coach Scott, you guys keep your head up, keep playing hard. I'm kind of anxious for this summer. I'm anxious to see how all these teams do in summer ball, get ready for the season next year. It's going to be fun, man.
If these teams stay healthy, Zach, I'm telling you, man, Madison County basketball, we thought it was something this year. Man, it's going to be off the chain next basketball season.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to cover one more from the county. And I got to tell you, I think they were sectional 55 champions. The LC Lions, Liberty
Man.
Christian Lions. Norman Anderson, great job. Athletic director, Chapel, thank you for letting us come in and do everything you let us do,
thank
Chap.
you.
We
They
sure
loved
appreciate
us.
that. Yeah,
They loved on us. Yeah.
I'm going to throw an old picture up of Chap right now when we played T-ball All-Stars together.
Get out of
No,
here,
I got
man.
it. I got it. Guess who else was on that team? Ben Carney.
Oh, my goodness.
Carney's on that team. I'm gonna throw up our T-ball picture here. Let's see if we
Oh,
can find
man.
that. I'll show Chap
Listen,
right now.
if y'all don't know, this guy is the man with all the pictures. So if you don't have any like baby pictures, young toddler pictures, listen, man, check with this guy, man, because he'll come out with something that'd be like, man, where you get that from? Man, I don't know what you do.
I don't know.
Wow.
I love Indiana basketball, and I just growing up, Kojak. That's what I wanted to do when I was a kid. I wanted to be. Number one, I could not wait to play varsity basketball.
Yeah.
That was one of my main goals in life. And then the second goal that I had was I could not wait to play in the wigwam.
Wow.
So, I mean, those were kind of like my goals growing up.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Liberty Christian, congratulations,
man.
Lions, Norman Anderson, all the coaching staff over there.
Yes, man, they got a great
Man.
coaching staff, man.
Yes, they
I
do.
love their coaching staff, man, for real.
They're lucky to have those guys,
Oh,
to
absolutely.
have that crew together. And
Absolutely.
man, they only had 2 seniors. Kojak, they're young. They got a lot of guys coming back. I wanted to mention that's their three-peat for a sectional championship. I think that's the third one they run in a row. One in a row. So they're doing great things. I mean, it's showing, isn't it?
Man, you know what? Just like, and it started with A.D. Chapel.
Yep.
You know.
Got him a state title over there.
Sure enough. And just what has been built upon, you know, since that championship, man.
That's right.
They are building a culture over there as
they
well,
are.
man. To where they almost, and I love the schedule that Coach Norm put together at the beginning of the season. Man, they playing, you know, 4A schools.
Kojak, that's exactly what I was getting ready to go into. I was getting ready to tell their record, 16-9.
Yeah.
Which is a great record. You know, but I was just going to say a lot of those 9 that they lost was against teams that normally 1A schools don't play.
Absolutely. Wouldn't even think about
Correct.
touching them.
So even though they ended up with 16-9 with those 9 losses, that prepared them for sectional, and they won the sectional. So
Absolutely. And Coach was saying it, you know,
Yeah,
he said,
all year.
man, look, we're getting prepared for, you know, for the end
That's right.
game, you
That's
know.
right.
Yeah, so that was great job. Great job, Coach.
yeah, so let's talk about those seniors real quick.
Absolutely. Devin Kelly,
Man, he's another one that has a nice body on him. doesn't he,
man,
Kojak?
listen. Well, I'm telling you,
Looks like
just
a
off his
fullback.
body, yeah, he can get paid just off his body because you see security, like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm safe
Yeah.
around that type of big body, man. But the way that he moves it, oh
He's
my
another
goodness, Zach. It blows me away how he can move his body. He's not stiff at all.
Nope.
Oh my goodness,
And I got
man.
to tell you,
Great
they've
footwork.
got him listed at 6'1", and he's another one to me, Kojak. The way he plays and as athletic as he is and as strong as he is, he's a 6'5", 6'6", plays like he's 6'5", 6'6" a lot of the time. So
Oh, listen, and fearless.
yeah,
Man, don't care who you are. You know,
Yeah.
fearless, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? He does a great job of getting into players' heads. You know what I'm saying? Just throwing them off. But one of the thing is, sometimes we be like, well, don't get in your own head
Yeah.
to where you throw yourself
Yeah.
off. You know, man, Mr. Kelly, and that's my cousin too.
Yep.
You know, super proud to be, you know, kin to him.
Yep.
You know. But man, he
basketball family. We might
Yes,
as well
sir.
throw the Kellys out there. They're
yes,
great
sir.
basketball
Yes, sir.
family.
Yeah, he come from great basketball stock.
Yes, he does.
You know, all the Kelly, every last one of them played. You know, from his daddy to his grandpa.
All
you know,
of 'em.
uncles. Yeah, absolutely. But man, what he brings to that team, Zach, is so important to where they're a different team with him on the court.
That's right.
When he's off the court, when he goes off the court and he done gave his all, and Coach Norm is just giving him a rest, the way he goes off the court is encouraging for the ones that's still on the court because he's excited, he's in the game, he's encouraging them, man. And listen, man, that is a very valuable young man to the Liberty Lions.
I agree with you. And one thing I would say is sometimes we saw him play this year, and he would get in a little bit of foul trouble, a little
Yes.
bit. But being 6'1" and playing against bigger guys the whole game, and as fast. I'll tell you what, there was a couple times, Kojak, he'd get some bad calls on him. The ref wouldn't be in position or
Correct.
So I mean, do you know what I mean? He was that kind of
Correct.
player.
Correct.
I thought he did a great job this year.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
All right, good job, Mr. Kelly.
Great job,
Yep.
sir.
Yep. And then they got Mr. Johnson's the other senior, 6'1".
Oh man, he's athletic. Listen, man, I love that kid's bounce, man. I mean, because at any time he could posterize you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I would just love to see him become more aggressive, especially, you know, during this time. You
Yeah.
know, they're going to really need not only the physical play, but the versatility that Mr. Johnson brings to the Liberty Lions. Man, they're going to need that, Zach.
Yep, they sure are.
Yeah, because that's going to depend on how far they go.
Yeah, those two are going to be hard to be. Listen, I know we're talking about them being replaced, but they're still in it. They still have a chance to go to the state title this year.
Yeah. We still rocking.
Still rocking.
They still rocking. Yeah. So it's like,
I'm proud of them. I was proud of those guys.
Absolutely, Zach.
Yeah. And then let's see here. Let's go to the junior class here. Mr. Page.
Man, you know what? When I said Nyrell Ingram, most improved. You know what?
They're both in that category, aren't they?
Oh, my goodness, man. You would have to put, Mr. Page in there right there. I mean, they like neck and neck. Probably have to be Cole,
6'6", athletic, plays above the rim.
Man.
He's fun to watch.
Man, he is. And to watch him learn as they go. Mm-hmm. I'm putting in the work, but I'm learning. I'm being thrown in the fire because Coach threw them in the fire with some of the teams that they played.
That's right.
So he had to learn on the fly.
Yes, he did.
And, man, how he's responded, man, has been phenomenal.
Only two other juniors, Mr. Kelly Rigney, and then what we got here? And then the other Mr. Kelly.
Yep. Which is Devin Kelly's first cousin.
Okay.
Their daddies are brothers, man.
Yeah.
So,
Well, basketball family.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And I love, man, Mr. Kelly, what he brings, man. And I know he don't get as much time as he would like. But, man, what he brings to the team, man, is that burst of, hey, boom, let's go. I'm in here. I'm a D up. I'm going to do what I need to do to get him to be more, focused mentally in the game, and not get caught up on, I ain't playing that much. But when Coach called me in, he did that last night, Zach.
Okay.
He came in and he did a fabulous job. It wasn't about him scoring. He played defense. He got the ball where it needed to go. Man, listen, man, that was his job, and he did it well last night, Zach.
And you even told me that they kind of struggled earlier in that game, didn't you?
Yes.
It's players like that and plays like that is what keeps you in the game and gives you that opportunity. As long as you're in the game at the end, you always have an opportunity to win that game somehow. And you even mentioned, we talked about this before we started recording today. You even mentioned how they stepped it up and did what they had to do toward the end of that game.
Yes.
They changed some things up.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
They adjusted well.
Yes. So,
absolutely.
But, man, Mr. Page, he's fun to watch. Let's see. Who else we got? Are we down to the sophomores yet? I think we are. There's a lot of those.
Yes.
5 sophomores, and that's even before we get into the freshmen.
Man. This team, listen, man, they are exciting. They have some pieces, man, in that sophomore and freshman class.
Harrelson, Carpenter.
Yeah.
Man, Woodard.
Mr. Harrelson has, listen to me, totally, completely different player, man. He is the reason why they were even playing in the championship game. He's a big reason because he can shoot that tray ball. He's probably the best shooter on the team. Him and Mr. Jelani Dixon.
Which we were going to talk about him next.
Yes, but Mr. Harrelson hit some big shots. And he's a big body. But, man, he loves to step beyond that three-point line. But he knocked down some big shots, Zach. And he stepped up even last night, physically getting rebounds, using his big body, man. I'm really proud of that young man.
You need guys like that on the floor. You need guys that come in and step up. And he's only a sophomore, guys. He's going to be back a couple more years. And then you talked, Mr. Dixon, Elijah Dixon, sophomore.
Fast, listen, they're just like, Mr. Fuller, you think he fast, man, listen, Mr. Dixon, man, I'm telling you, speed of light. Yeah. That young man, he has a nice game. If he could just sell out, I'm telling you, man, that kid is going to get definitely some college offers.
I think so, too.
I'm serious. Yes.
Man, their sophomore class is outstanding. But not only that, Kojak, their freshman class, they start 3 freshmen. Let's talk about them. Ty Wayne Fuller.
My nephew.
Or your nephew, I'm sorry, yes. I love him. His speed. Only a freshman.
Man, that kid, man, I tell you, Zach, I know he's heard that he's good, and a lot of people say how good he is, man, but I don't think my nephew understands how good he could really, really be, man. I'm talking about, man, he could be so good to where, man, he can go and play at any Division I school.
He's fast enough too.
If he work on the things that he needs to work on,
Yep.
his shot definitely needs to get better. His decision making and taking care of the basketball needs to improve, Zach. And I'm telling you, man, from there and knowing how to manipulate his speed. See, he can't just be one speed because that's easy to guard.
Yeah.
And with his as fast as he is, when he's able to slow it up, speed it back.
Changing pace. That's hard to defend.
Man, it give you a headache.
Yes.
It make you feel like you're on a roller coaster.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? You're going to be dizzy.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But that young man, listen to me, man. That young man can be something really, really, really special.
What I like about him, Kojak, is he's still young. He's only a freshman. You know, he came in and you're allowed to make some mistakes as a freshman, but from here on out, you got to learn, get in the gym.
That's right.
Work on your weak parts.
That's right.
And then learn from what you did last year and move forward. And
That's
take
right.
care of the basketball. You
That's
got to
right.
take care of the basketball.
Absolutely.
Work on that shot, and he's another one that could be dangerous offensively.
Man, it's going to be over with.
Over with. All right, let's talk about Mr. English. Man, how good is he? TJ English, freshman, 6'3" freshman. Fun to watch, isn't he?
Man, listen, man.
Finisher
Yes.
from anywhere.
And he did just that last night, Zach. He started going to the basket. And, I mean, he capitalized.
Yeah.
He was down there scoring. He's taking the ball. Short corner, he got it a lot of times. And he went down there and he drew 2 and 3. 2 definitely minimum. But 3 to 4, get it to where it need to be gotten to. But he was scoring a lot, man. He really helped the Liberty Lions, Liberty Christian Lions, man. He really helped them out. What he did inside last night.
Yeah, he's another one that's fun to watch for me, Kojak. But all these freshmen are, and I mean the whole Liberty Christian, but their freshman class is also pretty outstanding.
Absolutely. If Mr. English works on his shot, his perimeter shot, mid range and perimeter, along with his dribbling, it's over.
Yeah. And
It's
then
over.
what about Mr. Martin, Kendrick Martin? That's another one that's outstanding, man. Athletic finisher. These guys are fun to watch. I'm telling you.
Man, that kid, and he's another one, Zach, that just have no clue how good he could really be. Seriously.
I'm with you.
I love the fact that, guess what? He's not going to complain. He ain't going to, if you miss him, and he's wide open and you miss him, he ain't throwing his hands up. He ain't pouting. He ain't doing none of that.
You know what I like about his game is, like, if he misses a shot or if something happens, he doesn't ever give up on a play. Ever. Like, he'll be the first one down there trying to defend it or stealing the ball or blocking it. How many awesome blocks did we see him have this year? And then he can score anywhere on the floor. He can shoot the 3. He's got a nice little mid-range floater. He can get and finish underneath the rim. He's dangerous all around.
He works on, Zach, he work on his shot, on the 3-point shot, the mid-range shot, and his dribbling, taking care of the ball, because on the next level, he may be point.
Yeah, you're right.
So he work on those things, Zach. Listen to me. Ain't nowhere he can't go.
Only a freshman.
Ain't nowhere. Listen, ain't nowhere they can go. Ain't nowhere they cannot go if they work on the things that they need to work
A
on.
lot of talent around here, Kojak.
Man, listen.
One thing I would like to say to all the people out there, and even the players that are watching or whatever, go back to our YouTube channel, the Kojak and Zach Show, and watch some of these. We did over 40 games this year, Kojak. We broadcasted over 40 games this year. On our first season, a couple of rookies coming in doing 40 games in the first year. And we started late. We started 3 weeks late this year and still ended up with 40 broadcasts. So I don't know how I got talking about us. I think I was talking about something else, but I forgot where I'm at now.
Man, I mean, but listen, man, that was when you said 40.
Yeah,
I'm like,
41
40?
maybe. We were over 40.
Wow.
So, I know what I was saying. Go back to our YouTube channel and check out some of these games, man.
Yes.
They're fun to watch.
Yes.
Check out some of these players. They deserve it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You will not be disappointed.
No. So, for all the teams in Madison County and then, our neighbors there, Delville, and some of these local teams, Thank you, because I've had an awesome
Yes.
year. It's been fun watching you guys, and I can't wait to
Yes,
do it again
man.
next year.
When they start,
I don't know. Not
I'm
quick
ready
enough.
already.
All right, and then real quickly, we're going to go over some teams, Kojak, that we covered this year. We're not going to go into detail, but we're going to talk about them real quick. First teams I want to talk about real quick: Bar Reeve and North Davies. We went down there earlier in the season this year to a little event called the Buggy Bowl.
Buggy Bowl.
We hadn't heard about it before. Our buddy,
No, sir.
and a former teammate, Indiana All-Star teammate in 1993, Toby Madison.
Yep.
He got a hold of us a few times, like, you guys got to get down here and check this thing out. And we finally had an open space in our schedule. We got down there. Far drive, wasn't it?
Hey, listen, it wasn't around the corner.
No, it wasn't. But how exciting was that game?
Man, I've never experienced such a low-scoring, exciting game in my life.
That's right. What a great game. And both those coaches are outstanding coaches.
Yes.
Oh, man. How
The
great
history
are those
down
guys?
there is, man, it's unmatched.
Coach Dalrymple, and then Josh Thompson, Coach Thompson.
Yeah, man.
And then I got to say real quick before we move on, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on these, but Bar Reeve just won their sectional. And Kojak, this is the third longest game in Indiana basketball history. They went into 5 overtimes. Toby posted something. They went into 5 overtimes. And I said, that's 2 games in one. I mean, these guys went out there and played pretty much 2 games in one game for the sectional final, going back and forth, 5 overtimes. I've only seen 1 5-overtime game in my life, and it was a Syracuse game that they had on TV one night. But to win a sectional final, you talk about winning sectionals, how memorable they are. To win in this fashion, I couldn't imagine. How stressful. You talk about you don't like barn burners, man. You talk about
man,
headaches.
listen, man, my head would have been pounding. You hear me? And you know what? They are definitely going to take advantage of any rest that you can get.
Yeah, they're going to need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, hey, thank you, Bar Reeve. Thank you, Coach Thompson, Coach Dalrymple from
Yes.
North Davies. Man, we had a blast going down there.
Yes,
And listen,
definitely
we
enjoyed
definitely
ourselves.
want an invite back next year because we want to cover that game, and hopefully we'll be doing it live next year. So we want to come back, guys. Invite us back because that was a heck of an experience for me.
It was.
So thank you, guys. We sure appreciate that.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about real quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, man. The Fishers Tigers, number 1 in the state. They won their sectional.
They still in it.
They are. They're still in it. They're 25-1 now, Kojak. Been number 1 in the state most of the season. They just beat Noblesville, the Noblesville Millers at the Noblesville sectional number 8. It was a barn burner. Number 1 against number 2 in the state, 4A.
I know it was good.
And not only that, I got to say this, it's a lot easier and less nerve-wracking playing in those games than it is watching
them.
and having a family member in that game. My little nephew, I got to congratulate Cooper Zachary. I'm proud of you, buddy. Got his first sectional. In fact, that's the first sectional that Fishers has ever won in school history, and they opened up their school in 2006. So
Wow.
congratulations
Making
to the Fishers
history.
Tigers. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And boy, they got some players on that team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got some studs.
Metzger, McCartney,
Yeah.
Cooper Zachary, Jason Garner, man, Seymour, Kirby, all of them. John
Yeah.
Anthony Hall, how tough is him? Keenan Garner, Baker, Sigler. If I missed your name, I'm sorry, and they're still in it. They're playing against. Let me mention this real quick. They are playing Saturday at Newcastle Fieldhouse.
It's Kokomo.
Against Kokomo. They're playing at 4 o'clock. You probably want to get there early. But don't forget this. Go check out the Liberty Lions. They play also in the Fieldhouse, Newcastle Fieldhouse, but they play at 1 o'clock p.m.
Okay.
on Saturday. Double check those times and score or whatever, but make sure you go check those out. Man, there are 2 teams that you don't want to miss, the Fishers Tigers and Kokomo. I mean, Kokomo's got the 7-footer.
Yes.
He's going to be playing big somewhere.
Oh,
Going to be an Indiana All-Star. Who knows? Probably
absolutely.
up for Mr. Basketball.
Should be.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's going to be one heck of a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Congratulations, Fishers Tigers. Cooper, love you, man. I'm proud of you. I was telling Cooper after the game, Kojak, and I told you this briefly before we started today. I went up to him and I said, hey, as good as your dad was, who my brother, Danny Zachary, was an Indiana All-Star in 1982, played for the Highland Scots, played with George Allen.
Yeah.
A couple other big names over there. But as good as they won, they were number one in the state. Never won a sectional. Never got out of the sectional. It's hard to get out of our sectional back in the day.
You're right.
And back in those days, Kojak, Anderson, Highland, and Madison Heights, all three schools in the city of Anderson were ranked in the top 5. A lot of times they were number 1, number 2, and number 3, 4 in the state.
Wow.
Just some crazy times. But and through those years, Highland and Cooper's dad, Danny, never got a sectional. Got close a couple times, never won one. And I got to say, when I played, I got one. I got one sectional.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard to do. It wasn't hard for him and his brother, Archie, but it was hard for them, too.
Absolutely.
But they pulled it out. They did what they had to do to pull it out.
Absolutely.
So I told Coop, I was like, hey, man, I'm proud of you for getting your first one your freshman year because there was only one in the family between two of us so far. So
What did he say, though?
he said, I said, your dad got 0 and I only got 1. He said, well, you're better than my dad. Like joking around. And he goes, and I got my first one as a freshman, so I'm better than you.
Yeah.
So, I'm proud of him.
I love it.
Good
I
job,
love it,
Coop.
man.
And hey,
Great job,
Yep.
gentlemen.
Yep, keep it up rest of the season. Another team we covered, Kojak. We actually covered Fishers and them earlier in the season, but Arsenal Tech, Indianapolis Arsenal Tech, man, you know, they've got some players on that team. They play well above the rim.
Yes.
Yep.
They were very exciting.
They were. And our connection down there, Mr. Turner, Coach
Coach
Turner.
Damon Turner.
Yep, head coach down there.
Absolutely.
He's doing a great job. I'm excited
Oh,
for
yeah.
that
And
program.
he knows how to bring out the best in the player,
Yes,
too.
he does.
Yeah.
So, hey, go back and watch that game. Go back to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Check out the Fishers Tigers Arsenal Tech game. A lot of athletes. You talk about some finishes in that game. That both teams played way above the rim on that game.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, good luck next year, guys.
Yes.
And then real quick, I want to talk about LC, Lawrence Central basketball.
Man, I like them, man.
Me too. And we have a connection there, don't we?
Yeah. Coach Phil Washington.
Coach Washington.
Man, love him, man. Mastermind, man.
Yeah.
I love about Lawrence Central, man. It's like, man, they play from start to finish, man. They coming.
Yep, they are.
I love that about them.
And we
man.
watched a heck of a game against. They hosted Anderson Indians this year. We went down there and
Yes.
broadcasted that game. That's another one you can go back and watch. What a great, outstanding game that was.
Absolutely.
That was another one that was played way above the rim. I love those
Absolutely.
games, man. And
Yeah.
fast.
And fast.
Get
Very
up and down
fast.
trying to score, man.
Yeah.
Those are exciting
Very
games.
fast.
So. Good, congratulations, LC. And real quick, I want to mention the LC girls team won the state title this year. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
absolutely,
awesome.
man.
They had one heck of a year, didn't
And
they?
you know, I think is it Stampley? Coach Stampley. I don't know if that's her last name.
I know who you're
think it's
talking about.
Stampley. But anyways, Lawrence Central's girls basketball coach is the first African American coach to win a state title.
That is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she-
Making history.
If I'm not mistaken, she was a heck of a player back in her day too, wasn't she, Coach?
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, I heard that too. So
And her
congratulations.
got, I think that's her daughter, got player of the year.
I didn't know that.
If I'm not mistaken, she was a big time player for the Lady Bears.
Yeah, man.
So man, history all around the
I
board.
love it.
So great job, Lady Bears.
Hey, Indiana high school basketball,
Hey,
man.
man, I'm telling you. I love it, Zach.
Oh man, it's not just basketball around here, is it?
Man,
it's
listen.
a lifestyle.
Come on now.
Couple more, Kojak, real quick, and we'll get out of here. I know it's been a long podcast here, but I briefly want to talk about the Plainfield High School. You know, we went down to Plainfield.
Yes.
Covered Shabaka Lanza's son down there.
Yep.
Man, what a player he is.
Yeah, Harper Baker
Harper
Lands.
Baker Lands.
That
Awesome.
kid is going to be really special.
6'3" freshman.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Actually, their whole team's great. They had a great season this year. They were fun to watch, weren't they?
Man, I tell you what, that Mr. Ellis, that was a way to go out.
Yeah.
His senior year, man, that kid put on.
Eli.
Oh my goodness.
Eli Ellis, and you know what? We had a great interview with him after
Yes,
that. That's
we did.
another game you need to go back and watch.
You need to go watch that. Yes.
And they played Danville
Yeah.
that game, and Danville was ranked for the 3A, they were ranked number 1 in the state, and they were 18-2 at the time.
Sure was.
But they didn't come in and spoil. They didn't let them spoil senior night, did they?
No. Plainfield put on the show.
Yeah, Eli Ellis, I don't know how many threes. I forget how many threes. 6 threes or something that game. Ended up with like 28. I may be off a little bit, but it was close to that.
It looked like he had 50.
And he's playing at DePaul next year.
Yes.
So good luck
Congrats,
next year, Eli.
young man.
Yeah.
Yes, keep working.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Then last but not least, Kojak, we're going to cover Westdale real quick. I just want to thank them for letting us come over and broadcast in that last game against Elwood. I think we covered them against Delville earlier in the season, too.
Yep,
they had a
sure
great
did.
game. Matter of fact,
Sure did.
They beat Elwood in the last game that we covered.
Yes.
But they were leading Delville. And
Yes,
Delville
they
ended
were.
up coming from behind and winning that
Yes,
game earlier in the
yes.
season. So that was a great job. Good job, Westdale. Thank you for letting us come in here and broadcast.
Absolutely.
Thank you to all the players. Man, we've had a great year, haven't we?
Yes, we have, Zach.
What do you think, man?
Man, do we have to call it
I don't know.
do we have to end it, man?
know.
Well,
We're not ending it. We're just taking a break.
absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to what's to come, man. Listen, I want to say, man, I love you.
Love you.
I appreciate everything
appreciate
you've
you.
done, man. I just love working next to you, man. I'm telling you, man, I do.
I think we make a good team.
I think so too.
Yeah. I think we feed well off each other.
Yeah.
I mean, we know the game, I think. We both have played at high levels.
Yeah.
I think what we offer to some of these kids, a little bit of advice here and there, we've been through it. We've been there. We earlier in the season, we talked about coaches. Listen to your coaches because they've been there, they've played, they've, Coach Smith at Delville won a state title.
Yes.
He's been there. You got to listen to some of those coaches. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Take a little piece here, take a little piece there. Learn all you can, get in the gym, work on your game.
And you don't have to like it.
In fact, a lot of times you don't like it.
Right.
That's what makes you a better player. Get in there and do the things you don't like to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a saying, Zach, that going there, and I
right.
said it before,
Yep, listen.
going there can't tell been there how to get there.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's impossible. Going there can't tell been there how to get there. So, yeah, man, this is it's been a fun year, man.
It's been awesome.
Really, really fun year, man. Been a learning year. And I love the fact that we're at a point to where, hey, listen, we're still learning and we're wanting to learn even more.
That's right.
So, man, I'm looking forward to what's to come, my
Me
brother.
too. We got
Love
a lot
you,
of.
man.
I love you, man.
Yeah, man.
Just to let you know out there, we do have some different things that we're going to tweak. We're going to do some live games next year. We're going to do some live broadcasting. We got some things in the works on that.
This dude.
And then if we have to do some tape delay games like we did this year, we'll do that as well because these kids deserve it. Whatever we can do for them, I'm going to do it.
Zach. Yeah.
Because this has been one of the best. Besides the weather, I don't like cold weather.
Listen, and this is why they need to know, every player out there, you need to know that you caused this young man to change his whole routine. Normally during this time, he's in Florida enjoying the nice weather, but because of what he wanted to give you and what you guys and girls have given him, man, has really helped him in this transition of being in this cold weather. So
it's helped out tremendously, and it's worth it because I am going to take a little vacation now before ZBA starts back up, and we'll talk about that. But you talk about life-changing things, Kojak, and we talk about how you and I wanted to do something for several years, maybe even a decade or so.
Yeah.
And we didn't really know what to do. We talked about doing a book, documentary, and those things are still coming out eventually.
yes.
Down the road. But I forget what I was talking about. But anyway, we ended up getting together. We met again. We did just for those of you that know, Kojak and I not only were rivals to brothers. That's in
there you go.
You know what I mean? We battled. We were teammates when we were little kids. We battled against each other our whole lives. So I love you, man. I love you back. I think we make a good team.
Absolutely.
It's been life-changing for me. I want to thank all the coaches, the players, the parents, the kids. Everything we've done this year has been very positive.
Absolutely. And then we got to, definitely we got to thank the Kojak and Zach show, the team, everybody that's contributed, ND,
Producer Nikki DeRoff, thank you very much.
Absolutely, man. Benny Patterson and his family.
Damian James Entertainment.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben Carney,
graphic design. Ben, thank you.
Yeah, and then my wife,
Tamara.
Wow. Yeah, just been holding it down.
Kadir.
Yeah, my daughter Kadir. Yeah.
She's another one. Her and your wife held down our merch table all season.
Absolutely.
I want to thank them for that.
Absolutely.
Love you, girl. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chip and Dip.
That's right. That's right, man.
Yeah.
Thank all the ADs. Thank all the coaches.
Thank you guys,
Yep.
everybody, all your comments, all the love that they've
Yeah.
shown to us, and just expressing to us, what it meant for us to do this. We really appreciate that. We really do.
And just to let you know, we do have some stuff that we never got, that we ran out of time getting released this year, Kojak. So this summer, I don't have dates yet, but this summer we're going to slowly release some things that we recorded earlier this year that we never had time to get out this year. We talked about this, it kind of affected our show a little bit, how we ended up doing 10 games in 1 week, and with all the editing process and everything, it just kind of limited our show because we ran out of time basically doing everything. So, we're tweaking that. We're going to get better at that, but we're going to do some things this summer. So look out for them. We'll be announcing some of those things. And then we'll do some things. Probably he doesn't know this yet, or he does. We talked about it briefly, but we'll do some things about Kojak to kind of introduce people to Kojak, and myself as well. We'll do things, just maybe some highlight films of when we played, just so people know about who's doing the show. Who's covering their kids, and
That'll work.
Yeah, so we got a lot of big things coming, and then next year it's going to be pretty fun too.
Absolutely, getting better and better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, all the fans out there, for this season. We sure appreciate it.
Yes.
One other thing I want to talk about. Look, even though the season's over so far, we still have merch for sale. You can go to the website and get it on there. You can go to kojakandzach.com or the kojakandzachshow.com. So got sweatshirts, got T-shirts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It ain't too late to get those hoodies.
That's right.
Sweatshirts, because they get on me when I say sweaters. They be like, no, they hoodies. ND and my wife, no, they hoodies. So, the hoodies.
That's right.
Hey, look, get them now, so you can prepare for the winter.
That's
time.
right. And then, hey, talk about sponsorship for next year. We're going to, like I said, we're going to be doing live games next year. We're going to tweak a little things. So, email us.
Get at us.
Our website. Get a hold of ND, our producer, and we'll put something together. And we're definitely looking forward for those sponsors. And then also, we have a Patreon page, Kojak. They can go to our Patreon page. Anybody can go and contribute and help. If you like our content, it's always going to be free. But if you like what we're doing and you want us to continue to, this isn't free, unfortunately. I wish it was. but
man,
what we do costs money and time and effort. Yeah. And thank you for all the support and hard work and everything you did this year too, Kojak. Man,
come on, man, y'all made it easy.
Well,
y'all made it easy to go all in, man, just because of what y'all did. So
I've had fun.
Yeah, me too.
Is that it? Am I missing anything? What about?
I think we may be good.
What am I missing, producer? Pendleton, yeah. We forgot to talk about Pendleton. We didn't cover a lot of their games this year. We did cover them against.
How in the world did we forget?
I'm going to tell you why, because we didn't have forgot the printout of it.
I was thinking about the girl. No, I was thinking about the girls.
Yes.
But yeah, the boys we didn't cover.
Not a whole lot.
Wish we could have, but
Me too. But we forgot to print that out. Didn't talk about it much. But real quickly, they've got some great players.
Yeah.
Josiah
coming up,
Gustin.
Oh,
what you talk about athletic bodies,
that kid, man.
Outstanding body.
He has it.
So,
he has it.
We sure appreciate that. And you know what? We would like to do a little more Pendleton games next year, wouldn't we? Cover some of them. And, we kind of put this schedule together this year quickly. Like Kojak said earlier, we made a lot of mistakes. We're young. We're rookies. Not young, but young doing what we're doing.
Yep.
But.
Well, hopefully we can get that done. Yep. Make the contacts that we need to make contacts with, and establish that to where we can get in there and kind of highlight these young men.
Just to let people know, they ended up this year, let's see here, 11-13, Kojak, but they had a rebuilding year. They got a brand new coach back this year. I mean, Coach Buck, he was retired, and they got rid of their old coach and brought him back, and quite frankly, from what I hear, they're really enjoying Coach Buck being back there. He adds discipline to them. The parents seem to like him.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
good luck to them next year. Hopefully we can cover some more games.
Absolutely.
All right. Real quick, Kojak, I got to thank a couple more organizations. We've talked about them all year. Without both these organizations, there would not be a Kojak and Zach show. They pretty much financially supported us all year. First, I want to talk about Money Ministries, man. Let's talk about that real
Moving
quick.
obstacles now for every youth, man.
right.
Man, there's going to be some big things from Money Ministries, man, with just creating more options for young people, man.
That's right.
Challenging them to go to outlive their conditions,
Yep,
man.
that's right.
You know, you don't have to look like, or you don't have to live like where you came from. You can outlive your condition, man. And so, man, I'm so excited, you know, to see what God is going to do through Money Ministries.
Man, and you and your wife, Tamara, do a great job with the youth in the community. I sure appreciate it. And hopefully the kids will too. You know, they do. So
You know, and they do. And, you know, we was just scratching the surface on this year's Zach. I mean, you know, we want to get better and want to be able to do more for the young people because, like, you know, like you said, they deserve it.
They deserve it.
They deserve it, man. So,
Yep. So thank you, Money Ministries. Sure appreciate everything you guys have done this year. And
absolutely.
good luck this summer doing everything you guys got planned.
Thank you, sir.
I know you've been having a lot of meetings the last couple of weeks, and hopefully those all pan out for you guys.
Yes.
Looking forward to
hopefully
it.
so.
Yep.
Thank you.
And then lastly, I want to thank Zachary Basketball Academy, ZBA. Thank you very much. We sure appreciate what you've done this year. Just to let everybody know out there, we will be starting sessions back up the week of May 6th. So go to ZacharyBasketballAcademy.com and sign up. We got a couple packages you can purchase, and you can get in the gym and work on your game. You know, we talk about basketball season starts as soon as the last one's over.
That's right.
If you want to work on your game and get ready for next year, you got to get shots up. You got to work on your dribbling. You got to work on everything. Get in the gym.
You have to.
Yep.
You have to. And for you out there, you athletes, for you to be connected to a legend, you know. And what I'm saying about it, I ain't just trying to say this to puff you up.
I know.
Because that's not what I do. I mean, you know, it's in the books. I mean, it's written. You know, you don't have to take my word for it. You know, you put the work in.
Thank you. I did.
And so I'm saying for them to have that type of resource, I really, really, really hope you guys take advantage of that and get connected to ZBA.
Well, thank you, Kojak. I sure appreciate that. You know, one thing I was taught when I was younger from my coach was you're not going to get any better if you're not out there working. You know what I mean? And not only that is your competitors, guess what? They're probably out there working. So if you're not out there working, they're going to surpass you.
That's
you're going to
right.
struggle with them the next year. So if you're not going out in the summertime and doing everything you can to get better, man.
It'll show.
Yeah, it will show. You're right.
You can't hide that.
That's how players start separating
That's
themselves.
right.
So
that's right.
Yep. I'll see you in the gym.
That'll work.
CBA, get in, get some shots up. We're repetitive. We get a lot of shots up. So
very important.
That's right.
I'll see you at ZBA. I'm stopping in. I need to see who you're working with so I can be like, man, listen, you ain't there. So I can go and grab a hold of some individual, be like, man, let's get here.
Yeah.
Young lady, let's get to ZBA. So
looking forward to seeing you in the gym. Thank you. Thank you, Money Ministries.
yes.
Thank you, ZBA. I think that's it.
I think that's it. Hey,
I love you.
signing off. Love you too,
All
man.
right. All right. We'll be back, Jack.
Absolutely. The Kojak and Zach show. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And God bless to you too.
That's right. Thank you for a great season.
Absolutely.
Take care.